Like the hipsters who put oat milk in coffee. Delicious.
Like all those people who said punk rock was back, and then Machine Gun Kelly went #1.
So, those 10,000 people with hemophilia A who have been treated with Hemlibra, they might be onto something. Find out why 10,000 people have been treated with Hemlibra worldwide.
It's still the Eat Fresh refresh at Subway, and now they're refreshing their classics.
Hold up. If you're gonna talk about classics, you should get a classic.
Classic refresh.
Because the classic sweet onion sauce you love is getting refreshed on the new sweet onion steak teriyaki. So how are we gonna refresh the Tom Brady ending?
I got an idea. You take the tagline, buddy.
You got a refresh too? A line?
It's on the teleprompter.
He had one job.
Subway keeps refreshing and refreshing and refreshing.
For the perfect massaging shampoo, we train to hit 7 pressure points. 7 pressure points, 2 hands, 1 path to victory. Remember your training? Right here, people. Good stuff.
Sport
Hit all 7 pressure points, right?
For me, creativity starts with what ifs. Like, what if it takes place in a white void? Or maybe beige? No, black. What if it's in suburbia? That's not right. What if it happens in the rain? Yeah, this is it. Now, create what's true to you.
We have a tie. It is a 1-1 in this grand finals between OG and TSM FTX. And just like game 1, game 2 was a bit of a one-sided affair. This time around for OG, they smashed it out of the park. I'm joined by Jenkins, T-Gov, and Purge. Purge, I think we got to start with this Storm Spirit.
He did typical Storm Spirit things that we've been afraid of the whole tournament, basically. He was the hero we were scared about as the tournament started. But he's kind of coming back, at least in this series. And it not only was great in-game, but it also undermined their opponent's strategy. They picked Pugna first, they stole the Storm away, and then he just got so many kills on the map.
I feel like typical Storm Spirit things is... like, this is typical because of BZM. I remember right at the start of the patch when they did the null tallies change, like he was the, everybody was still going like Orchid in the old kind of build, and he was the guy that was like, nah dude, like 5 null tallies, like this is the way to go. Not with the Arcane Blink this time, but you can see like how much mana, he's using barely any of it, and still zipping and doing so much damage. Also, something about the Aghanim Shard on Storm, if you go for this, you do so much damage in the fight, but you don't need items in your inventory to do that damage, you know? So it gives you those slots for the null tally. So even without a Pugna or a Coddle or one of these like mana batteries, it still seems really good. Like I can see why this hero, as much as we memed about it at the start of the tournament, I can see why this is a first phase ban hero, or first phase pick hero.
Especially with a Fairy Trinket.
Yeah, I mean, you always roll the dice, you get that one. But yeah, for OGs as well, you have ATF, you know, Amar on the offlane with Night Stalker. In game 1, he struggled a little bit, but in this game, he had a free lane. He's then pivoting that advantage, playing with BZM, who's also popping off. And then you have these heroes like Darkseer, Fury, and Doom. They kind of need a little bit of time and space on the map to get online, and then they just didn't have that. It was just all-out aggression from OG. They gave them no room to breathe. I think he was even diving, you know, what was it, past tier 3s at some point, get a quick kill, and then, you know, did help that Mortimer kisses him in after, but...
Diving Fountain at a point and surviving with the BKB-TV. That was insane.
But he didn't drop a mantle this time. He's showing some class in the grand final.
But, I mean, but imagine the flex
when you snap
of, like,
and re, you get 100%
every single ban is dedicated
nuts
to you.
straight from
all of your heroes get banned out, and you still run over the game with like the last one that nobody's watched you play in like 20 games. Like he just doesn't play that. He always gets another hero. but he just runs over the game anyway.
Yeah, we have a highlight clip of that as well, as we, I mean, we like to relive moments like that, right, Purge?
Yes, maybe not for TSM fans out there, but it did feel like a lot of their rotations just didn't quite pay off, unfortunately. And I feel like a lot of that was maybe Darkseer was shut down a bit in lane. The Monkey King was a great pick for that. It gave them the ability, if they did spot Darkseer, they could jump on him really quickly. The Doom Darkseer was okay. The wall replica stuff was okay, but it wasn't super incredible. And they were playing from behind in net worth for a long time this game. They made it even harder.
Yeah, and unfortunately for TSM as well, they just didn't have that wombo combo with the Darkseer. So even in these highlights, when they hit the big back wall, they're relying on Doom to have the Centaur creep to then layer a stun. The Furion, unfortunately, isn't the best carry to layer into that. TSM, they relied on having better lanings to be able to dictate the game. The Darkseer wanted to be the initiator, go and blink shard, taking the fight. But when they're reacting with their engagements, their lineup isn't that good. Even though they have some team fight, it's not that good defensively.
It's just not an Enigma replacement. Straight up. Like, it just didn't work. Alone, it's not an Enigma replacement. I think that's what they were going for. They wanted some, like, crazy wombo combo in the late game where they're not going to lose. Because if you do get to the refresher orb timing and the double wall, it is extremely good. But there wasn't much to do with it. It was like you get an illusion and it just runs there hitting, and it's like...
It's very powerful slow-wise. That's the nice thing about it. So if you do have a lot of walls, they can't get away. They had one fight near their off-lane tier 1 where they were chasing Yuragi north when he had Aegis. If they can combo that with a net worth advantage, it'd be incredible, right?
It would look
then
good,
you'd be like, wow, they can't get away. Exactly. It's amazing. But if they're behind in net worth, it just doesn't give you that catch-up potential that a black hole would.
Yeah, you really have to get to that late game if you want to make the Darkseer work in that regard. And they didn't, and that was partially because of that mid lane, because of the Storm Spirit. BZM plays it like a beast, and we chose this as our player versus player. With the damage difference, it's quite telling, T.
Yeah, I think the difference in this game is the fact that Bryle on the Pangler in game 1, it was a proactive hero that can kind of set the pace of the game because his teammates could also follow up. And this time, he's the puck. He's kind of the control. He doesn't really have the heroes to help him out. But on the flip side, BZM, playing the Storm Spirit with heroes with the Windrunner, the Power Shots, the Night Stalker, etc., he gets that. So I think this mid lane matchup is super volatile. Depending on the rest of their team comp, will actually allow them to just explode into the game. So this mid lane is volatile. I mean, game 3.
Yeah, it's gonna be explosive for sure. BZM looking buff in that game 2. Let's see if he can do that in game 3 as well. But first, speaking of people that are buff, I believe Slacks is standing by with some.
Absolutely. Hello, Shiver. I went through the crowd looking for the biggest Giga Chads that I could find to start some cheers. My friend, OG fan, right? OG. All right, well, let's see. This game. Let's see if we can get a crowd chant going. Can we go? Get the crowd excited? All right, here we go. OG. All right. Okay, OG. All right, let's see if we can find someone else to get a little bit more excited, maybe for TSM. TSM, any thoughts? TSM. All right, maybe it'll work if we bring them together. Crowd, can we help out if they come together, please? Come together. TSM. OG. Oh my God! Oh, he's run away with it! Holy moly! Yes, the crowd is extremely hype here, Shiver. In fact, too hype, too muscly. I don't even know why these guys are here.
But I think that OG is win this game. OG is win.
Okay, no, okay, they're going against Shiver. Take it away. One of these guys are definitely going down.
All right, thank you very much, Slacks. We are, of course, preparing for the 3rd game of this grand final, so stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Dota.
It, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Welcome, everybody. I am here with TSM. We got Moomiander and Tomato, whatever you want to. They are wearing cosmetics.
This is hard mode.
This is hard mode, yes.
There's no way. This is like zoomed in 1,000 times or something.
Yeah, this is like zooming on.
There's no way. Guess what?
The heroes are color coordinated, guys. I mean, think about the colors.
Windrunner.
That's not the right colors, but okay, sure. Locked in on Wind Ranger.
Ava?
Abaddon.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, it is Abaddon. That is a hard. That is a snipe from Devon. Nobody has gotten that one that I've worked with so far.
Jeez.
Well done. All right.
Beast.
Number 2.
It could be like Pugner wear a hat like that? No.
Yeah, he does, but he wears a turban. Not this hat.
Yeah, like it's bigger.
Yeah.
This one's like it is a small hat, but it looks thicker than then. Okay, I'm gonna go with techies.
Techies.
Halloween techies.
Afraid not. Afraid not. Here is a easier one. This should help.
It is like the wings coming out the back, like Arachna or something.
We need some answers here.
I think Undying.
Undying?
I'll go with Broodmother.
That's a Necrophos right there. That is a Necrophos with a tiny little top hat and his little spear, you know. Next up?
Puck.
Puck. Instant lock. Well done. That's 2 points right there.
When I see that, I think of Skydra, but I don't think Skydra.
I think Phoenix with the fire.
You think Phoenix is gonna wear a cape? It's gonna burn.
What do you think this is the cape?
Silencer?
Silencer. Afraid not. Here's a bigger hint.
Hey, ancient apparition.
Oh, ancient apparition. There you go. Okay. We still got 1 point on that one.
What the froge is that? Is that like a his hat? What the hell is that?
So that's his helmet. The back of his helmet. They try to trick us.
Yeah.
This is the back of his helmet.
A sniper.
Sniper?
Yeah.
Omni-Knight.
Sniper.
I'm afraid it was an Earthshaker, guys. That is Earthshaker
I've never seen
Anvil
that set in my
on
life.
his back.
What's the name of the set? Do you know?
Earthshaker's Anvil set.
I'm pretty sure.
I know.
Ricky Maru.
Whoa, the 2-pointer. Well done.
That set I use. Ogre Magi.
Oh my God, the instant lock. Well, guys, I have to admit, you have done absolutely well. You really do know your heroes, Tomato. How do you know them so well?
I don't know. Sometimes I'm bored and I spend like hours just like dressing my heroes.
Wow. That's super cool. All right. Well, thank you so much, guys, for watching.
Get ready for the third game of this grand finals. The series is tied 1-1. OG, TSM, FTX. Both first games were pretty one-sided for the team who won. Will game 3 be a more even affair? We're finding out as we are ready to begin the draft of this third game. Purge, what would you like to see changed? Because of course we now established Storm Spirit, first pick material. Enigma, first pick material.
I don't.
Yeah,
the
Purge.
Storm was
What do they
really
do?
Good, but I feel like they need more supplementary heroes. The Pugna was pretty effective. Maybe they need a better way to lock down Storm or something like that. Who else did they pick with Puck in their first phase? And it was Pugna, right?
Pugna into Puck.
Pugna.
Yep. I felt like the Pugna, it kind of like anchors drafts in some ways, but also is a vulnerability if you pick in the first phase. So I feel like Pugna was maybe the issue.
There we go.
All right, they lost.
They go run it back. Indeed, the Storm still left in the pool. OG gets another chance to pick it up. I'm actually quite surprised the fact that we still have the same pick order and the same sides.
Yeah, this is the third game in a row where OG has been second pick. I think for OG at least they are comfortable in this pick order because with Mar and the fact that you want your offlane pick to have strength and dominance, I think they'll be very happy being on this side. But it'll be interesting more on TSM because in this, after 3 games, they've had choice at least once out of these times. And the fact that they're giving this away to OG, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, they're confident they can open with Pugna and still get some sort of combo that's not bad. We'll see how that goes because OG they picked this with Storm in the last one, so this is looking like an identical draft.
But does OG go Storm here? Or this time do they pick another hero, giving TSM potentially that Storm, and then looking to counter it later down the line?
TSM's definitely going to be picking Storm if they can get Storm Pugna.
Because there's one way, if they don't pick Storm, for example, it does force TSM to potentially think about the Storm counter bans in mid-game. So then maybe you get more Amar heroes going later into the draft, more options, rather than being forced into the, there's only Night Stalker available, only Slaughter.
Ooh.
There you go. So they picked DK, they countered the Storm, instant stun.
It's a hero that was very popular during the group stage, but kind of phased out, hasn't been banned or picked much, but still is pretty solid.
Yeah, and I don't think the win rate for it was too low. I mean, the only nerf to it was 5 damage off of the Aghanim, or the Shard, yeah.
Yeah, it was a 46% win rate on the hero in 28 games.
Yeah, I mean, that's all right. That's a pretty classic DK win rate right there.
I feel like it also opens up a Grimstroke to be even more powerful too. Some of the best times for it is with that instant stun, so that there's low reaction time even if you have BKBs. So, but it's still interesting to see that OG had the same opening and they still pivoted. Maybe giving respect to their opponents, that their opponents, if they're opening the same way, they're like, okay, well, clearly they're gonna have a tool. Yeah. They're like, all right, shake up the deck just a little bit.
Right, the response will be different, so.
There's Monkey King.
We'll go for Monkey King, and that means Storm is the most likely gonna get banned or just ignored this draft, surprisingly. TSM will once again start focusing on heroes. For Amar, they are gonna ban some out.
Even with the DK, I think against Pugna, you still think about banning the Storm. I mean, it's too good. Like, Pugna Storm, it's one of those combos that it doesn't feel like there's really a good counter that exists to it.
And don't forget, at the very start of the major, we actually had the SEA teams trying to do DK carry, and OG's already shown that they're ready to kind of throw out their playbook of what they did in group stage and playoffs and try and do stuff. So maybe they're leaning back even to the early time of the major with this pick. You see TSM banning out Viper. They don't even think it's like an offlane DK. It's just potentially just mid or carry maybe for OG.
Yeah, I felt previous game also had the stock of Night Stalker rising a little bit. I would imagine that we are either going to see that banned or picked up.
Yeah, that is actually another hero now that with OG having a great game with it, it's an excellent pick for both teams, but it does seem to be a bit of a situational one. The other reason they're banning offlane heroes for OG is because they know they're not going to want to put the DK there if we have Monkey King. So they're going to still go to the other heroes that counter Monkey. They're going to guarantee their safe lane matchup. CK would have been better, so he's banned first phase. So maybe they're moving the Monkey up in priority because they know it's going to solidify that lane even with the Pugna.
Gonna see Seb on a new hero. Monkey's picked and Winner is banned.
Yeah.
Hey, he's played a couple of other heroes this tournament.
Monkey.
Jakiro. Bane.
No, he has played a lot, to be fair. He's played like
Io, Phoenix.
Like 12 different heroes. But the best ones have been banned.
The most successful one definitely being banned in that win range.
Those were just in the group stage when he was like figuring out what the most fun thing to play on the main stage would be. He's like, all right, it's Windrunner, guys.
This is level 30 heroes.
Yeah.
But for OG, like, with this DK going mid, I'd still love their offlane to also have some form of vision or initiation, because then it just simplifies your game plan where your offlane is starting up the fight, or your DK, and then your Snapfire is always layering in. Monkey King under early pressure, that was an abnormal game in the previous one where you crush lane and have items. Normally, you're constantly farming and hoping not to take the bigger fights until you get 2-3 items.
Yeah, Monkey's definitely susceptible to like feeding early if he's not absolutely popping off. Low HP hero, you catch him out with the stun, he dies to magic damage. And the Death Prophet. I feel like this second ban phase always takes so long. Like, this is where you really get into the reserve time.
Both of them sources of percentage-based damage, the Doom and the Death Prophet there. And since they already have one strength core, it would have really fit well.
I think as well, TSM just showed how good Death Prophet was in game 1 when you put it in the offlane, that core roll, you just go phase BKB, how quickly you leave your lane, take the mid tower. If you break down the map, a hero that wants to skirmish and need like 10 minutes of farm, you don't get that time because you're having to waste resources defending objectives, moving around the map. So I think I'm liking these value bans in the second phase from OG.
I like the Phoenix ban from TSM FTX as well. I feel like it combos really, it's like the, I remember when people were running mid Monkey King, people were counterpicking it with Phoenix. It just absolutely just dumpsters Monkey King in lane. You can follow it wherever it goes. And then in the fights, you have this massive magical damage for both the Pugna and the Monkey King. You're a natural vessel builder as well against 2 healing heroes.
Just remember that game of Gladiators where they had the Monkey into Phoenix, and it was a rough one every time.
Rough.
Yeah.
So Mirana has been a fairly popular hero during the group stages, mostly for the SEA teams. But it's been a while.
Yeah, and that's why they banned Abaddon, because they were going to go for chain stun pickup type of lineup, so definitely a little different.
Yeah, I feel like as soon as DK gets a Blink Dagger in this game, it's just going to be all-out fight. Just constantly look for pickoffs, look for the fight. Snapfire might even just go straight Blink Shard, look to join the fights as well. So TSM, they need to either have counter skirmishing heroes or just the super beefy defensive objective style.
It's kind of cool too because one of their heroes, the 5 Pugna, is already prevented from saving because you're not really you can heal the guy, but usually you want like a nightmare dodge or a disruption or ab-up shield, something like that to keep somebody alive. So once again, the Pugna kind of provides some draft disadvantages in terms of these counters.
It also means that we're most likely going to see Snapfire on the position 5 role for Seb, right?
Probably.
Should I check if he played DK5 in his pub? I'm checking.
I mean, that would mean that we're going to have a core Snapfire, which, you know, could be the case.
Yeah, that's possible.
That part's not bad, but the DK support, no way. No way. I don't believe it.
No.
No, he hasn't. Don't worry. Sorry, crowd.
Every time the draft gets to this point, I just look at Batrider. That's like the cheese hero right now to just last pick and absolutely destroy draft. Like Broodmother's not really a hero. You rarely see Meatbow or any of these other like cheese type heroes. Huskar kind of. I think prior to the group stage, people were picking Huskar and a few teams were messing around with it during the group stage. But yeah, really, it's like Batrider looks really good for both teams right now.
I don't think any team have even touched Batrider in the tournament. Like OG, BZM hasn't played it. Amar hasn't played it. Same thing, yeah. Neither team's actually touched Batrider at all at the major.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, like I said in the prior draft, I remember Bryle playing it back when it was a very strong hero, like first pick hero. So he does play it, but it's just been a long time, and he's gonna be Leshrac here.
Well, here's their Pugna Storm-ish combo. The Leshrac very similar, needs his mana, pushes towers, can frontline a little bit. Even if he gets chain stunned, you can cover himself with items and Pugna heal. So I think it's a pretty good solution.
If there wasn't a Pugna, I'd be like screaming for an Oracle. Even though the hero's kind of dead, when you have Monkey and Leshrac in the same draft.
I don't know, dude. I feel like you need a fat guy right now.
You do, exactly.
Like, okay, there he is.
There's the big boy.
Like, none of these heroes run in and do stuff. Get things started, so that means it's
Monkey 4 probably?
Monkey 4, Moon Meander Classic, so he's more than happy.
Does this help OG in any way? Like now they can feel more confident putting the Dragon Knight in the offlane, right? With
well, I think even if you play the Monkey King as a 4, you just run Monkey against the DK and just throw Pugna in the offlane.
Okay, we finally get to see an Invoker on main stage. NoTail's happy with that as well.
A lot of Invoker fans in the I was gonna say in the chat. What's wrong with me?
I mean, this is technically a live chat.
Live chat.
It is. The BZM Invoker has been quite phenomenal. So looking forward to seeing that on the main stage indeed. Does mean that we're most likely going to see a Dragon Knight played by Amar, or would you rather see it played by Yuragi? Like, what's the deal here?
I kind of feel like it's 100% being flexed into the carry role more, and it's just allowing this Invoker to be this quad spec style. Leshrac's going to come for this tower, boom, instantly remove that mana. Same thing for Wraith King. At 15 minutes, OG is going to be knocking on your doors.
Yeah, I love also the pivot to, you know, having the Cataclysm. Like, if DK gets a stun on anybody, they're so dead. How the hell do you survive Snap Ult, Mirana Arrow, and then a Cataclysm? Like, this is insane combo with the DK.
Like, look at his Neverward, like, oh, it's so useless now.
Well, you beat it with Reincarnation, obviously.
Yes,
you
of course.
just die anyways.
Well, refresh the Cataclysm.
So Netherward is slightly a counter as well, right? If it's within Invoker and he hasn't BKB'd, you could produce a lot of damage.
Well, how does it work? If Invoker's way over there, out of range of it, you just outrange the Netherward, right?
Yeah, that's why you buy a Blink Dagger on Pugna and you just hunt the Invoker wherever he Cataclysms from. You jump in and drop the ward.
That's why they banned the Beastmaster, so the Pugna rushes bots onto the Hawk to get...
Okay, all right, relax.
Yep, that's it. Ban out Faceless Void would have given them some easy win with the Chronosphere Cataclysm.
Yep.
Netherward doesn't save from that.
With the anti-mage ban, I feel like I have to ask the question, is there any way somehow TSM fits in a Storm Spirit?
They would have to do like Lesh offlane.
Yeah, I mean that actually seems pretty good with
if it's
Monkey King setup.
If it's against like DK, it could work, but maybe a more conventional rundown carry type hero, it could be rough.
Okay.
Because it requires you to keep your 4 there much longer because he's squishier as a 3-position hero, but they could switch it up if they wanted to be crazy like that.
I guess I don't know if they need a Storm in their draft right now. It just doesn't feel like something they need.
Isn't this still just a Night Stalker game for TSM? Against all the heroes of OG, once you survive that, you get just go phase BKB, the vision, it allows for you to actually take some of these fights or even just dodge them.
Yeah,
the value of running away is also pretty good in Dota.
Yeah, it'd work out really nice, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of offlaners still in the pool.
Yeah, I think Night Stalker and they banned Brew. I was about to say that, but yeah, Night Stalker or Brew are the ones that come to mind. But they're the ones that can control the like 10 to 15 minute kind of fights that allows TSM the time to get the items to come out swinging for that first Roshan engagement.
I mean, Night Stalker BKB is a pretty good timing as well. Obviously, Brewmaster's a little safer because you just got to split first.
There it is.
But if he rushes the BKB, gets it at a decent timing, he can be that front line of first team.
Now, OG, are you going to do DK offlane? Or are you going to put it carry and Amar's going to get whatever hero he wants?
So the cool thing about the TSM draft is that when you last pick a Night Stalker, you think like, okay, illusion counter, right? That's how you beat it in lane. You pick a PL. That's tough into Leshrac, but it is a free lane for TA. It's a completely free lane.
It looks pretty solid to me because it's going to give him some really nice late game potential. Just got to get on those supports. Pugna's going to struggle a little bit to defend himself and everyone else in the team.
Yeah, it doesn't look like we have any surprises. We will see Seb on Marana this time around, rather than Taiga. So Taiga will once again take the Snapfire, and Marana in the game for Seb. How are we feeling about this one?
I think Seb probably will be laning with the DK still. So even though the hero looks weird to be a 5, he's still going to be laning probably in that 4 role. But for OG, it's very much they need to hit their stride from the laning phase, keep the momentum going, because at some point, they're going to run into the wall of the Night Stalker vision, the Wraith King tankiness, surviving for it. But yeah, no, this is the type of game that OG carrying the momentum of game 2, it gives him a good shot.
Yeah, Seb's been shooting arrows all tournament, so it's going to be basically the same. He'll be fine.
Same hero, just this time riding him out. Sure, yeah. Whoever wins the upcoming game will be at match point for this best of 5 grand final. It's going to be very exciting to see who that will be. We have a slight change up on a commentary duo, so let's head over to OD Pixel and Cinderin.
Thank you very much, Steve. Yes, we're getting very ready for Game 3 between OG and TSM FTX. Some exciting stuff here, Sin. We're getting the BZM Invoker coming out, always a joy to see. And of course, that last bit, the Saberlight Night Stalker. I think you sort of got to see what Amar was having fun with in that last game. And we've seen it before from him. He wants to bring it out again now. And of course, a very good game for the Night Stalker once again.
Yeah, and like the panel pointed out, it's going to be Seb playing another Archer in this game. Obviously, the Marana instead of Wind Ranger. In a way, somewhat similar heroes. In a way, they're very different. But the thing they have in common is they need to hit that high impact skill shot stun.
Absolutely.
This time around, though, for Seb, he does have some reliable setup. A lot of the time when he plays the Wind Ranger, he's the one initiating the moves. Now, this time around, they're obviously largely dependent on Dragon Tail to set up those arrows. And they're playing against effectively 0 direct saves, right? They banned out the Abaddon, and TSM were not opting to go for something like an Oracle or anything to that extent. So could find major impact.
All right, let's have a look here as we get ourselves into the third game. See if we get ourselves a bit of a closer matchup. Of course, the first 2 games pretty much been a stomp either way, with TSM FTX taking that first match and OG game 2. Just for the last pick from OG, ending things around a carry TA. Do you think this is a pretty good game for it, or are there things that TSM FTX will feel that they have in their sort of arsenal to deal with a carry TA?
I would say, theoretically, this isn't the cleanest TA game. Like the panel pointed out, the laning stage should be pretty good, laning up against supposedly Night Stalker +1. But the thing is, there's a couple of those classic, I wouldn't call them necessarily counters, but there's a couple of problems, right? You're playing against Decrepify, which can save either the target you're on, or you can get Decrepified yourself until BKB. You're playing against Leshrac, who has a ton of damage instances to remove Refraction. And Monkey King ult as well is actually a classic TA counter, especially if he goes Diffusal, which Moon Meander could do as a position 4. He could go for something like the current Orb of Corrosion that he's eyeing up into that Diffu, and that's something Uragi will need to take care of. But, you know, with the right items, TA can play against most. I think in this game, the items you need to look out for are BKB and then ultimately a Nullifier.
Sure, and how's sort of the lane for Uragi against these 2 melee heroes?
It should be completely fine. I don't see why he wouldn't just out-farm Night Stalker in this lane.
Going to get some good damage in onto Tiger there with the 2 stuns set up at the start. You know, some of the other lane matchups, Bryle on the mid-lesh, of course, as talked about in the panel, a lot of potential here with the duo of him and Dubu in that sort of mid-stage of the game where Dubu's going to be able to keep him fueled up and pumping out the damage with that endless amounts of mana. How's sort of the lane against BZM and in sort of the overall game, how much issues does an Invoker provide against Alesh?
It's kind of tricky until you get BKB on Lesh. I think Cold Snap actually ruins this hero quite hard if there's reliable damage instances all the time. Can't really cast your Split Earth in the fight. You're very much dependent on moving around to deal your damage. So I will say Invoker is pretty good. I think Invoker plus TA traps or Invoker plus, you know, a Dragon Knight stun with Exor Invoker is always going to be scary for anyone, right? You can just Sunstrike Meteor blast someone, again, with no saves on TSM. You can't decrepify the guy Invoker is on. That's not going to end very well. So, yeah, I think Braille could have his own fair share of problems. The laning stage should be fine, though. Leshrac does completely fine against Invoker. Does fine against basically anything, right? Can always find farm with Lightning Storm. But very curious to see how Braille opts to skill build here, because sometimes we've seen mid Leshes go like 1-4-1 and just really focus on getting the tower. He's opting for 2 points in Split Earth here, maybe to ensure range creeps a little bit better, or to be able to contest the Forge Spirit.
Some good harassment here from BZM. Braille ready to trade back, with the ball already done. And that Water Rune at the ready, he'll be able to grab that one. Would you imagine we're going to see much movement from each side's supports towards this mid lane? Any chance for an early gank to get a kill for each mid?
Oh, hang on, we're going to maybe get a kill top here. At least very good damage. Mumiander, if he could find a level up there, he might have actually had that. Looking for the courier.
Has got the boots of Yuragi on. Yuragi will be able to get them delivered over. Actually, try and turn it back over towards Moon. And he's hit the 2. He's also got a Salve and a Fairy Fire, so feeling confident to trade back with Tiger.
Yeah, that might look like a bad trade for Moon. Like, effectively, he took like 300 damage and maybe dealt 100, but the thing is he ensured Saberlight, I think, 3 creeps.
And Tiger, he could be in trouble here. They're in on top of him with the silence. He'll pop the Fairy Fire, turn with the blast. Moon with a nice dodge there to protect him against the
Yuragi's
will live.
Perhaps.
So if Yuragi can run away from these 2.
It should be okay, but if he gets another attack here and gets a reset on the Jingu, that would have been huge, because then Yuragi wouldn't even be able to come and contest this current wave. Might have to wait for it to run into tower, but now he's fine. So yeah, nice kill up here for TSM. I was not expecting them to be able to find first blood against this lane, but obviously Moonmeander just trading early on against Taiga and not expecting that surprise skill point in Crippling Fear perhaps to come into play there from Saberlight. Not necessarily on your mind in that moment.
In the mid, Seb is going to see if they can get the kill onto Braille. Dubu TP's over. It's ready to turn and take their attention away from the Lesh. Braille will survive, even with that Sunstrike coming from BZM. Not quite enough, and they were very well prepared for that. With that ward that they have in their own jungle, they did catch Seb moving earlier towards that mid lane.
The trade-off here is obviously with both the bottom supports running over. You're going to have Wraith King farming against Dragon Knight. This is for all intents and purposes, pretty boring lane. The 2 heroes are just going to hit creeps and none of them can threaten each other at all, really. So unless the supports rotate back down here, that is not going to be the lane to watch for a while. I think there's going to be much more likely action top, and it's actually happening right now. Misha, I keep calling him Misha because it's in the name there. Taiga for Misha. Under a little bit of pressure, but we'll be okay.
And in terms of the build, does it sort of surprise you? I feel like during the draft, there's maybe the expectation that BZM would go for the Wex, but going for the Exhort this game. Is it this just sort of just looking to capitalize on those solid stun setups?
I think BZM goes for Exhort Invoker every game, if I'm not mistaken. It's their favorite way of playing, as Yuragi will find a kill on Moon here.
They'll be able to get rid of that Monkey King finally, after Moon was creating quite the annoyance for them, pushing them away from the wave.
It's when you think about OG's team identity in this tournament, I think it just makes sense for BZM to play Exhort Invoker, right? They like to play these 3 scaling cores and really focus on being able to find that farm. In contrast to, if you haven't watched OG Dota for a while, Thompson would almost exclusively play Quas Wex because his role in that team was way more of a roaming nature. But yeah, BZM in this team, always that Exhort Invoker, huge impact late game, looking to farm up. So can't say I'm too surprised here.
Solid CS as well in the mid so far. 14 denies against Braille, 25-15 against the 22-5. It's going to be off to a hot start with the XP. Already about half a level ahead. We'll see top lane, Saberlight Moon. They'll try and make another move onto Tiger, Yuragi. We'll see if we can do anything to help out Tiger. Cookie over to the side. Moon, he wants to dive this. He's in with the Primal Spring. Tiger will be able to turn with the blast. Tiger goes down. See if Moon can get himself out of the range of the tower. Sunstrike coming in, but it won't quite catch him. Moon
arrow.
able to make it out.
Bit of a minefield up here. He found a way out. I actually think if the arrow hits Moon, still doesn't die. He had a raindrop and 14 ones and a Fairy Fire, so would have blocked the majority of the arrow damage. Oh, he's actually going to go in on Yuragi.
Back in. As low as he is on the HP, he wants to try and set up for an aggressive move on Yuragi. He had the stick charges good to go. Tiger is back around to help Yuragi out, if you did so. The dive won't continue, but Moon continuing to play incredibly aggressive and just trying to keep Yuragi on his toes and away from the creep wave. And it is showing Yuragi at the moment getting the least amount of farm out of the lanes in comparison to the other cores.
Yeah, I have to say that's pretty surprising. This is not how I imagined this lane would go, but TSM are doing an excellent job in controlling that top wave and getting all that farm. I think the panel were saying as well, this should be a great lane for TA, but it is effectively a 300 gold lead for Night Stalker, who is widely considered a relatively weak laner until nighttime, right? But they managed to find a kill during day, and he has more CS, so...
And now they're bringing Dubu up here as well. So extra pressure being put onto the safe lane of OG. Of course, on the bottom half of the map, Tomato, he's had a fantastic start. Top net worth, and now he's able to safely move into the jungle, progress on his armlet. And very hard for OG to really make any sort of move to slow this Wraith King down at this stage.
What they're going to do instead is they're going to use Amar, Dragon Form bottom as soon as possible. He's pushing this wave in. He's very... Oh, hang on. That's another death for Taiga, probably.
Certainly is here. TSM FTX continuing to pile up the pressure on this top lane. And OG, with the two of them, they're not able to deal with it. Yuragi and Taiga starting to struggle against this early aggression.
It's going to be kind of telling how TSM adjusts now to Amar being level 6. So he's probably going to want to use his first Elder Dragon form bottom tower and start pushing that. I wonder if they're just going to leave Wraith King to solve that on his own, which will, the tower will take some damage, but not too much, or if they actually want to try to turn this into a gank. It's very obvious what the goal is here for Amar. You see him even pinging down here, might want some team backup to go for this tower. Tomato will be making his way over. There's the Dragon form, and he's going to, for now, just be alone here while TSM will maybe look to mid, but it's only 1 point in Edict on Bryle, so I don't really know how much they can get done.
It's more of a killer with that sort of build. See again, Moon. It's really been on Tiger's case this entire game. Tiger just cannot get away from this Monkey King.
They don't like Tiger.
Ensuring that there's not going to be any easy way of him getting over towards helping the safe lane, and Bryle heading in and taking away some of these stacks from OG. Tiger and Sep, they'll look over towards him.
Oh, he has the haste.
He's ready to run down Yuragi. Yuragi is into the mail, but they've got the detection. Dust is out. TPs are coming in, but the Boundless Strike lined up onto the two of them. They'll take out Yuragi. They'll look for Seb as well here. He's got a few leaps to play with, but the damage far too much surely as Bryle burst through and double kill for Bryle. An excellent move off the back of that haste.
This should also end in a tier 1 tower. I don't think OG have heroes to rotate that can defend this right now. Invoker is not ready at all, playing as Quasic Sword, so it doesn't really offer much in the way of defense. And with TA dead, I don't think she wants to re-TP up here, but let's see if that is the case. No, she's going to TP on the outpost, so... Oh, good arrow. Oh, wait, was that an arrow? No, he got clapped by the Ogre.
The Ogre's got him. All set up for the traps.
Oh my god, he's actually going to die from that?
The cookie in.
Oh, no!
The neutral's getting a bit of revenge there against Bryle, as Bryle was taking quite a bit from OG's jungle, but the jungle fought back against him, sets up for Yuragi to get the kill on him, and also to be able to chase down Moon. Yuragi is going to be very, very happy with that, especially after he was having a bit of a tough time in the lane. They do lose the tower, but with those kills, it's really boosted Yuragi back up. He's now second highest in the net worth, only a few hundred behind Tomato.
It's a little bit unfair when the game is 2 teams against 1. The jungle just teaming up with OG to get a double kill for Yuragi there.
See Bryle is going to get straight back out on the map towards the bottom lane. Same time top, Saberlight, he's going to get Sep. He's able to run him down, and bottom, they do manage to kill off Amar.
Wait.
So the Moon and Bryle, after being taken down top, they TP towards the bottom. Tomato did die. I think
he must have failed a toggle with...
I think he must have, because he had backup. It definitely didn't look like a scenario where he should have gone down, but he did.
He failed a toggle with Corrosive Breath on, I think. Or he died on purpose to get a free refill. That one I don't believe in, really. You know, sometimes you give the players the benefit of the doubt. That did not seem on purpose. He was having a laugh at it too, I think. They still get the tower, they get the top kill. Yeah, we're going to see it. So Tomato here with Armlet activated. Toggles with Corrosive. Yeah, it happens.
We'll see it again in poor Tomato.
Honestly, oh my!
Oh my!
Probably a good thing he didn't have ulti skilled there. I think he would rather die than waste
I think so. I mean, his team still got the job done. You know, they were able to push that tier 1 tower.
And while Amar does get a gold bounty there, he doesn't get any experience. So
the mid
was dead already.
They can catch Tiger. They won't be quite on target with the slow. Cookie to take him out to safety. These are some early tier 1 towers.
Moon here.
Down. See if he's going to get any sort of help. Rest of the team trying to head over to help out Moon, but there's a lot of damage here for the Chaos Meteor and the Forge Spirits. Moon, he's going to get saved though, Dubu. With the heals, keeping Moon alive. Now Saberlight and Bryle, they've gotten their way over towards the back lines. To the side though, the Kisses are coming out. The Dragon Tail stun as well, holding Bryle down. Bryle, he'll get punished for trying to dive in and take a kill away from OG as he'll fall.
Yeah, OG very adamant about defending this triangle, as they should be. They're playing a TA strategy. You need to make sure this area is under control. It's a huge part of what Yuragi will be looking for in order to carry this game. So can appreciate the aggressive move from TSM, but they just got hard countered there by the Dragon Tail into Snapfire ult.
And do you like this one from Amar? The Ether Lens Rush.
I don't know. I feel like we don't see this very often. I guess with this, can you outrange the Silence from Night Stalker? Can you stun farther away than crippling?
I wouldn't. Not when you're in melee form, I don't think.
Now, when you're in range form, absolutely. With
Yeah,
and I think
not in melee, surely.
I think the logic here is that he needs to outrange Crippling Fear, and it feels like if he buys Dagger, then... Oh, hello. I don't think he can really use this for anything. Okay, it's being annoying.
There we go. We saw the range coming into play there. So it adds a decent amount.
He took 600 damage. That's not all that bad. So yeah, I think it's in order to outrange Crippling Fear, and it is... He's not as dependent on the Blink Dagger, which can be really tricky when you're playing against a hero like the Night Stalker, right? Who can flank you and just get any sort of damage on you so you can't make use of your hero. So I really like the theoretical approach of this. This is one of those item builds where it's either going to look really good or really bad, right? It's probably not going to be somewhere in between. So let's see if Amar gets a lot of value. It's nice to have the mana too, though. You know?
Yeah, I just have a bit of a different approach. You know, normally Amar is going for the carry items. This time he's...
That's a good point. Amar bought a utility item.
It's a bit of a different Amar with it.
Can you believe it?
Down the mid. TSM FTX wanting to finish off this tower. Bryle getting set up upon him. Mars in with the Dragon Tail stun. Dubu fueling Bryle back up to full HP, but it's a lot of damage coming out here. Bryle, he'll go down. Jiragi takes him out. They'll turn over towards Moon as well. With the damage coming in, Moon is going to have no chance to jump. The Sunstrike gets set up straight on target. BZM takes him out. An OG with Amar around in the Dragon form, they can look to push down the tier 1 themselves.
Yeah, even with that save attempt from Dubu, pretty much instantly decrepping against the 2 Forge Spears. There's just too many stuns and too much slow. Like, he's not getting out of there on Bryle. Has the Yules now, but no, it's looking good for OG here. They get the mid tier 1 first. Playing against Leshrac, you're generally very happy if your mid hero is the first one to knock down that tower. Still have yet to take the bottom one, though. We've heard S4 talk about earlier today how important it is to open up that tower, but I think OG with their lineup don't necessarily need that much access down here with how happy they are to play triangle with TA. And probably just park someone like Amar down there a lot of the time to just, you know, farm up and soak any ganks.
Yeah, TSM FTX, they're just going to come straight back in the mid, try and look for a fight to allow them the chance to get the mid tower. Yuragi turns up, and they can't commit all the way deep for Tiger. Tiger's able to step away, but the space was there for Bryle to finish off the tier 1. So they'll balance things out in the mid here, TSM.
Yeah, Moonmander's going Orchid, so Diffusal was not on the menu for him. Still do feel like it does seem like a pretty good Diffusal game. We got a little bit of a tech issue. I'm sure that will be resolved shortly.
They
can hear us?
Yeah, they can hear us. We'll keep you informed. Hopefully this screen, for those here in the arena, will...
They all died!
Stop it, Sid. That's a 5-man black hole! No, there's no Enigma. People watching online are probably thinking what these guys talking about. There we go, the screen at the arena's back on. There we go. It's probably Slack tripped over a cable. Now we've got it plugged back in and we're back on with the show. 7-7, 15 minutes in, less than 1k in it. It's a close start here off the back of the lanes. Yuragi, Desolator done. We saw already in that last fight how hard he was hitting, and with the Deso, it does get that bit scary if they're able to get the TSM FTX lined up. And also, of course, giving them the opportunity to maybe step in for the Roche, especially with the Invoker and his Forge Spirits. A lot of opportunities for that if they win a team fight.
I think it's also crucial for OG that their carry in this game has significant physical damage, like overwhelming amounts, because you're playing against a Pugna Netherward, right? So your spell damage from your Quas Exord Invoker is going to be reduced by quite a bit in these team fights. But TA with Alacrity can offset that problem in a big way. Just hits insanely hard. You see the damage on TA currently. Hitting for 263 pre-Alacrity. So the Alacrity, that's going to be like 300 something, almost 350. He needs to be controlled by TSM, or they need to be able to decrep the target reliably. Arguably the better choice would be to decrep Yuragi in general, because I think if you decrep a teammate, they can just die to any of the other spells, right? You get absolutely annihilated by Snapfire, or by Dragon Knight, or by that Invoker. Snapfire can also outrange the Netherward, which shouldn't be underestimated. That's kind of an added benefit of the hero. It can deal full spell damage, because the range of this spell is enormous.
So they can go for Saberlight. Set up here, allows for the Dragon Tail. Dubu starting to keep Saberlight safe from any follow-up physical. The kisses do still come in towards the three of them. Fair bit of damage, but too far for OG to chase up upon and look to continue for now. Now that the smoke up, TSM FTX might look to try and get the wraparound back in on OG.
Oh, they're gonna browse on a trap, so they know. Yeah, nice try from Seb to get the arrow there. The problem was the Warpine Raiders were in the way. If Seb leaps and then arrows, I think he can find a connection there, but he was probably hoping that he wouldn't have to. Oh, okay.
Tomato's in with the blink, and this long wraparound for Saberlight and Dubu have allowed them to come in from the high ground, from the triangle. OG, they'll be under the tier 2 though. Looks like TSM FTX, they don't have enough damage to really take anyone out. It's close to the tower. They'll have to hold back and maybe look towards some pressure elsewhere. The bottom creep wave is moving in. Proving to be a little difficult now with the items that OG have for TSM to just get in and kill a hero to start things off. They've got good ways of saving one another, OG. A lot of stuns.
Yeah, Tomato opting for the dagger over Deso, so his damage output himself isn't the best, but he has the power to set up for both Leshrac and Saberlight on the Night Stalker to connect onto a target. So they're valuing that higher, and he's actually bypassing Deso entirely, which is interesting. He's just going to go AC instead.
Look at this, OG. Of course, with the Desto in the meld, they can take Roshan down very, very quickly. It has been scanned out by TSM FTX. They're going to start making their way straight over to the side. Seb,
silence.
It's being a bit of a distraction. They'll lose Seb, but the space is still there for Yuragi to continue finishing the Roshan. Turn over towards Dubu. He gets burst through by the combo of BZM. They need to get towards the pit soon if they want to try and stop it. Roshan getting very, very low. Moon will send the Wukong's command, but Yuragi's already finished off Rosh. Picks up the Aegis. They turn with the stun over towards Saberlight. Sunstrike comes in. Saberlight dies to the hits of Yuragi. Yuragi is in trouble one time round here though, as Moon bursts in with the Bounding Strike. We'll be back, of course, for a second round with the Aegis and BZM. He's already looking for the setup back onto Moon. Trap slow as well from Yuragi. They'll look to run down the Monkey King. Moon's up to the high ground, but the hits from Yuragi shred through him. As OG, they'll take the Roshan, they'll take the fight around it. TSM FTX able to get some kills in return. Let's see if Tomato is going to be under any sort of threat. He's still feeling strong. Has got that reincarnation at the ready, so he's not scared at all. In fact, he's going to head straight towards that top lane to start to farm it. OG, they may look to see if they can set up and take him down twice. TPs are coming in. Tiger's ready to help out, and he has got the kisses, so they'll have great damage if they can get an opening stun on Tomato.
Oh, this is... Oh! Ooh! All right.
I mean, we saw his reactions earlier in the Manta-style video piece that they were showing, and there we have with the blink Tomato. As soon as he senses something up, he's away.
Oh, these fucking zoomers, man. They're so fast.
That was great stuff there for Tomato. We're going to get that again in the slow motion.
Yeah. So from his perspective
this is what he sees. As soon as he sees Seb, he knows something's up. He catches a bit of a glimpse there, and
all right.
He plays it cool. He knows, all right, well, I've seen you, but I'll wait until the spell comes out, just so we can look even more stylish with the escape. And he does. He's out of there. OG got the setup on the Night Stalker straight away with the kisses. The Boundless Strike does come down to put a stop to the ult, but the damage is already done. OG, they're going to try and push him for more. They'll focus down the Nether Ward. Dubu now hiding underneath the tower with Tomato. Amar, he's ready to try and hunt for more. He's looking for Tomato, wants to get the setup on the Wraith King. OG, they've got the full squad here for the fight. They get the stun opening onto Dubu. He goes down. The space created, though, for Tomato to at least get the blink off and get back to safety. OG with the 2 kills, they'll try and push on for the tier 1.
And it feels like quite a bit ago, but I don't think we mentioned that the bottom tier 2 tower of OG's fell because Tomato was split pushing that while the Roche fight was going on before he connected over there. And that's why essentially that turned into kind of a draw. Since they killed the Aegis carrier afterwards and got a bot tier 2, the gold in the game didn't really shift, but they got a little bit extra map control. Oh, BZM. Good stun chain here, bottom lane.
Oh, he's in trouble. He got anywhere to play his way out of this little town with a tornado. Get himself out of the Wukongs, but the AoE damage coming out from Bryle takes him down. Over to the side as well, the top half of the map. They get the jump on Seb. 2 quick kills for TSM FTX. Saberlight already seeing if he can maybe check out something else here as he's on top of Yuragi. Amar will jump in. Yuragi actually able to get the blink off in time. Tomato, he'll look for the opening on towards Tiger. They're in on top of the Snapfire. The final void there from Saberlight taking him out. 3 kills for TSM FTX.
If Saberlight would have chased it a little bit further, that could have gone dicey for the Dragon Knight as well, but Amar will be safe, as Saberlight is now showing himself on the wave. They're just going to cut this wave and take the outpost, which they have access to because of what Tomato did bottom, so this could play a key role in the upcoming map control battle, that they have this access point now. It is very, very strong. I would say for Night Stalker teams to play with Outpost is very powerful, right? When the enemy team is going to try to get this Outpost back, if you do have that Dark Ascension, you will always have guaranteed vision in the area, even if you don't have any wards. so it can be quite the threat to try to take down. Bottom lane, oh my god, Moon. He is in big-ass trouble here. Against the Orchid off.
He's going to maybe be able to build up the lifesteal, but Amar, the Breathe Fire, making sure there's no chance for Moon to live that little bit longer. Get rid of the Monkey King. Now, BKB is very close for OG now. BZM just about half the gold of a recipe away, and Yuragi also 700, and he'll have the Ogre Club. So they'll hit this timing when they've both got the BKBs. And of course, outside, really, the Wraith King. A lot of the threat from TSM FTX will be limited. AC is done, though, for Tomato. So that physical will hurt hard, especially when he and sort of Saberlight are punching in with these two right-clickers.
Yeah, with Saberlight's BKB, it seems pretty reliable that they can get onto at least a support and just blast them immediately. The thing they need to be careful about is if they blink in and try to initiate on a BKB target and the BKB does come off, the turnaround potential for OG is exceptionally strong with that Dragon Knight. So BKB usage is super important for both teams, which is hardly surprising. It always is. But in this game, the damage is so explosive from both sides that if you don't pop your BKB in time, it's not a matter of how low you're going to get before you get to use it. It's that you're literally going to die from full to zero. There's just that much coming out from either side. So got to have your reflexes ready.
I think eyes on Dubu again now to make some great saves. He has the 4-staff done, so a way to try and break his cores out of the sort of Dragon Tail Sunstrike setup. Talking about that, Dubu will get hit by the two of them. As Dubu is going to fall low, Saberlight's going to try and jump in, but with the BKB up from Yuragi, Yuragi's ready to jump in on top towards Saberlight. Saberlight will get his way back up to the high ground, and Tomato and Bro, they've stepped up, taken down Amar and Seb. Now they can try and look for Yuragi with the BKB on cooldown. Yuragi, he could be in trouble. Then with the dust out, Tomato's in with the stun. They'll try and cook him out towards the side. Good deafening blast from BZM. Pushes back the three of them. Ice Wall as well, trying to hold them out. Yuragi's able to blink up to the high ground and TP out. Yuragi will live. Tiger turning things around here with the kisses, but Tomato's made his way around over to the Snapfire, takes him out as well. Moon's starting to play around with BZM as BZM has to run back towards the base. He'll live. They won't look to chase. TSM FTX taking out the 3. They'll take out the tier 2 as well. And a solid fight there where they're able to make sure that Yuragi didn't get too much done there during his BKB. Saberlight taking away a lot of the attention, and they are able to follow up onto the TA once the BKB had run to an end.
You could definitely see what Saberlight, we're going to see that in the replay in a moment, what he was going for with that chase on TA, because he knows this is the primary kill if they can get it. This is the crown jewel of the fight, but he didn't manage to find fog over the tree line here. I think maybe because the creep wave was where it was, Yuragi could see him, so he was trying to poke and prod and still survive, but overextended just slightly, and Yuragi was very quick to react to the circumstances, find the kill, and get out.
Yeah,
and even stuck his tongue out in the meantime. He's just a jack of all trades, this guy. Just absolute control.
He may get out of there that time, but the rest of his team not having too much fun against TSM FTX in that scenario. 3K lead now for TSM.
The prize is mine.
Also kind of crucial that Dubu didn't die in the initiation, right? We didn't really get to follow up on that so much, but
he got really low.
Beat stick of health. He had like 5%. Resets up with the stick, re-engages in the fight, and plays a role. So important that he was that quick to self-decrep when he got jumped. He didn't have enough to finish it off. Obviously, I mean, Decrepify against Quasic Sword Invoker, I talked about earlier how dangerous it is, but that's in the context of a team fight where the Invoker gets a Deafening Blast Meteor combo, right? Against Sunstrike, it doesn't really matter, because it's pure damage, so...
And Moon, again playing sort of his favorite area of the map here, just focused on holding back this bottom wave. Meaning that OG has to really consider how many resources they want to try and put into dealing with that Monkey King down bottom. Ryle, Bloodstone, nearly at completion. As for OG, we'll see if they're able to go out to look towards a fight themselves, because right now it's TSM FTX that are keeping the pace up a little bit more. Another smoke from the side.
They see Yuragi there with the Night Stalker Night Vision. They know he's melded here. He's gonna run away.
So they're gonna get the jump, Saberlight. Starting to open things up as they'll look towards Tiger. Got the silence, Yuragi's gonna attempt to turn. Saberlight popping the BKB. They back off away from the EMP. That's the BKB down for Saberlight.
Poor Dubu getting arrowed in the smoke. They know he's there, but they obviously can't engage in. So yeah, OG pretty good there. They got a Night Stalker BKB charge and ulti, and they lost nothing, and that means there's an opening here for OG when this nighttime ends. I believe it was day now when Night Stalker popped this, or I feel like you can never truly trust this timer in the top when you mouse over. I'm not 100% sure. It will say until night. It says until day. Okay, it said until night when he
I think it did when he just
It said until night when he had the ulti running.
Yeah, so...
Okay, well, it's still night, so not too big of a deal then.
I'll see if they still want to fight anyway. OG, they have got Amar ready to lead in. They've got to be quick with the catch, and as we've seen the last few times, Dubu is always ready to try and protect heroes from that chain combo. As OG, they won't catch anything with this move. TSM FTX, 2 set up here as a team for OG to try and get that jump in on anybody. It's BKB, it's done for Tomato now. So now he as well will be ready to get in on the front lines and really commit. The only real threat of the physical coming out from Yuragi. Of course, he has his team to rely on just getting on top of the TA, making sure that Yuragi has a real difficulty getting the job done in a team fight during the seconds of BKB he has.
Oh, Seb's in trouble.
I'll try and get him the stun. Seb open the leap to try and break away from it all. Tiger dying in a couple of hits here from Tomato. Once there's one hero down, OG, they've got no fight to take. They back off.
Seb with the 3 leaps and Moonlight Shadow. You have to get the hell out of there. You've got quite some ground to cover against these heroes if you want to reset. He also has the Force Staff that he didn't have to use, but this is the bigger deal. Roshan, there's 25 seconds on Snapfire. Can OG do anything about this? They will buy back.
I don't want to let
TSM were hoping for. They have the outposts from earlier, which is very, very important in this game state that they control this area. It's going to make OG's advances here a lot harder to pull off. Look at the drawing they're doing here on the minimap of where they want to smoke. Quite the path, right? Nobody cared about the drawing. They're going another way. Okay, well, straight on, arrow. Not gonna connect.
Gonna connect. They still want to try and jump Amar. He's looking to get in, but Saberlight reacts immediately with the BKB. They turn over towards Amar. Amar forced to safety for now. The kiss is coming in, but Moon, he's in with the silence. Puts a stop to the Tiger ultimate. BKB popped by Tomato is turning over towards BCM. There's Tiger going down. No buyback on him. Bryle from inside the pit doing the damage out towards both Amar and Seb as Yuragi's committing in, trying for the Roshan with this BKB. He'll push himself out to the side. Bryle getting bashed by the Roshan ever so low. A step out of the pick, gets slowed by the trap, but Bryle will live. Saberlight Tomato, they're back in on top of Amar. Amar goes down. Bryle did finally fall there to the damage from Amar, tick damage, but that's overall a rough fight for OG. TSM FTX, they'll be able to get back into the pit, take down this Roche. As once again, we're just seeing, you know, the struggles around that BKB usage of Yuragi. He's just not able to do enough. There's too many tanky heroes, and with the AC aura, he can't quite burst through them as quickly as he'd hoped for as a TA. As they take the Roche, and they'll let Aegis go into the hands of Saberlight.
And they were very close to not even finding the Lash. At least they get the Pugna and the buyback, but you're going to see in the replay here, I think he ticks out to the final tick of Fireball that Amar left on the ground, so very, very close to living with that positioning inside the pit. But yeah, this part of the fight I think is actually the most important. Moon Meander taking out Taiga. The Monkey King and Night Stalker matchups are really bad for Snapfire, and that's what you're going to get when you pick it this early in the draft as OG. This deep in the tournament, teams have the solutions ready. You're going to see here, so if you look at his health, the only thing affecting him, I think that TA trap is not dealing damage because it was placed so late.
Yeah.
So he either died to the last tick of Corrosive Breath or to that Fireball tick, so very close.
4K lead now for TSM FTX, and they have this Aegis in the hands of Saberlight to play with. So he'll be very ready to jump. Yuragi's got to be careful.
That's daytime now. 25 seconds until Dark Ascension, and you'd imagine TSM, I mean, they want to put their Aegis to use, right? So they can't wait for the next nighttime, so they're going to have to use it together with Dark Ascension. The good news is they can run Saberlight in super aggressively to try to force BKBs or key spells, since he has the Aegis on him. All right, they're poking Tomato.
If they can take him down the once, Dubu healing him up. They'll pop the kisses. If they can get either of the two of them out of this, Dubu will fall. A little bit of a window now. 70 seconds, no Dubu. And Pugna, he's been providing some great saves. They try and jump into the high ground, but Seb immediately gets turned upon. Seb goes down. Deafening Blast down. The Deso hits over towards the Monkey King as Moon will fall. And they get more out of this. Still Bryle, Saberlight, and Tomato. Very, very strong, the three of them. Even if they are outnumbered right now by OG, it's hard for OG to take these cores down.
And there is a less shard here. Bryle getting that from the Roche, it's very difficult to access the area.
OG's got to be careful. There is that jump available from TSM.
And now the Night Stalker ulti is going to run out. So this is actually a power play for OG.
They're going to try and go. Amar is in with the combo straight on towards the setup of Brawl. Brawl's able to buy time with the Yules up to into the sky. Uragi is going to be ready for him as he comes down. The Tornado's there. Brawl taken out. They bring down the Lesh. Tomato standing his ground. Turns over towards the TA, but Uragi's able to slide down to safety with the Hurricane Pike. He turns with a huge hit over towards Sableye. That's Sableye down the ones. They've taken out Tomato. No ult for him as he'll go down on the respawn. Arrow from Step perfectly lined up. OG. They clear up the 3 cores of TSM FTX.
They just bide their time. They wait out the Night Stalker ulti. You know, they have access to that. They know it roughly when he used it. They know how long this lasts, and they're just chilling, you know? TSM stay in the area. They try to control it. They hope OG's going to run into them. They just don't, and then it's an easy fight.
Well, he's found here. A 4-star for Cross as well to cut the end of the arrow. That's going to be a dead Moon Meander. Out for 70, he's spent up to get that Bloodthorn done, so some good space now for OG to push for some tier 2s.
They just swung the game in a big way. They were 4K gold behind a moment ago, and now they're 4K ahead almost after taking this mid-tier 2. Just this one sequence, just a huge dip.
Absolutely, yeah. TSM FTX just getting a bit ahead of themselves there, sticking out in OG's jungle when their supports were dead. They felt that they could deal with it, having the Aegis on Saberlight, but it was not enough. OG able to pick them apart perfectly and get that huge start with a big burst jump onto Brawl. The fight starts, Brawl, he's already about 3rd HP.
It's just, you always have to consider when you're playing as a Night Stalker team, if you're outnumbered and Night turns today, effectively this fight is not really a 3v4 with an Aegis, right? It's more like 2.5, because Night Stalker, his net worth has very low value. He has a BKB and a Halberd, and he can't do any damage with his items. So all he is running around, has a little bit of control. And the Wraith King can't do it alone there. Tomato, after Brawl gets killed off.
No, they're ready to go for more. There's a couple of seconds until Moon's back up. BZM, he's in with a jump. Straight away. Put the opening onto Dubu. Meteor's coming down. Dubu gets destroyed here by the jump of OG. 7K lead. OG starting to get that momentum.
Yeah, this Invoker is nasty. BZM with the Hex. Can pretty much blink and blow up anybody who doesn't get Force Staff. Do they even have... They only have one on Pugna.
Yeah, it's just Dubu.
So if he jumps and kills the Pugna first, or somebody else stuns the Pugna, it just sets up Invokers to do basically whatever he wants onto one of these targets, as long as he's the first to go. This top tower, no way in hell they defend this. Also having the Alacrity talent here. Uragi is going to deal insane amounts of damage. Let's see what he hits for. 450.
Now, these buildings are going to go down incredibly quickly. They'll want to turn up to try and do something about the tier 3 and the barracks. I mean, already Amar showing his hand, ready to dive beyond the tier 3s to look for setups.
Yeah, no NS ult, so they want to force something. They still have 40 seconds until nighttime. Saberlight is not particularly useful right now. Nice arrow. Seb fishing a little bit.
And we see Tomato. He looks like he doesn't really want to head back until he has the nullify done.
Big pick BZM.
He's headed back to look towards him. Ooh, he's got the tornado ready. Teasing with Tomato there, waiting for him to come towards the end of his TP. Jump forward from BZM. He wants to try and run Tomato down. Tomato, he's going to need backup ASAP from the rest of his team. Amar, he's turned up as well. Hex into the control. There's going to be one death on Tomato. He'll be back for round 2. Moon trying to help out here. He's out with the blink. Good blink off the back of the reincarnation as Tomato will manage to get himself out of there. Moon will die in the chase. It's not actually over there from OG. Amar, he's in on top of the two of them. They're on top of Brawl. Brawl forced over to the side. Playing around with Amar. He's getting shoved all over the place with his 4-star, so he finally falls. Tomato's in on top of Seb. Seb taken out. Double kill for Brawl. Brawl's still alive this time round. They'll keep him up. BZM trying to continue to chase, but the shard off the Lesh, holding him back with the stun. Uragi's in with the jump. He's on top of Brawl, but Saberlight's in as well. BKB popped by Uragi's. He'll continue to commit. Tiger connects with the Scatter Blast slow. Saberlight trying to run. He's slowed down by the Nullify, but he will live, and now it's time to re-engage. Turn over towards Tiger. TSM FTX turn, take out another, and they want to try and see if they can get Uragi as well. Saberlight popping the ultimate, but the Blink's already offering Uragi. Should be far enough away to get out of there.
Well, is he, though? He doesn't have a TP. There's a trap.
If he can close up on this.
Saberlight's gonna run to the end of the world to try to catch this guy, but I think we just reached that end. No way, you're okay. That was just not gonna be good.
This time around, sort of OG extending too far as TSM FTX are able to take them out, outplay them. They keep Brawl alive. Brawl was the first focus really in that fight, but this time he survives. They can take the fight, they push back and get a tier 2.
Brao's going to be a pretty serious problem now that he has that BKB that he used for the first time in that fight. OG, I don't know if they have enough single target damage to kill him unless they chain stun him. And if they do chain stun him and he gets decrepit and glimmered, I still think he will survive, pop BKB, Bloodstone, and get to work. So you have to be very careful about how they approach fights, OG, especially until TA hits 25. I wonder what he's going to take. We've seen Uragi take both talents on 25, but this might not be the game for refraction instances, which is the most common one. It's taken way more than the Meld Bash, but maybe this is a Meld Bash game since you can't necessarily really rely on the defensive instances that much against this lineup. Very curious what he opts to go for. Pretty tense moment. OG had a huge lead, and now we're pretty much back to square one.
A very, very close game.
Don't Google the net worth graph of this game. That is quite the roller coaster.
TSM ready to show themselves in the mid, though. The moonlight here from Seb.
Close to 25 on BZM, another one to look out for. Probably going to see the Radial Deafening Blast, I would imagine. It's a very powerful spell against the Radiant heroes, right? You have the knockback against Monkey King, you have the disarms against him, against the Night Stalker, and against the Wraith King. And a lot of the time they're flanking from different angles, so you can only hit one of them, but with the Radial one, might be able to catch everybody all at once for huge damage mitigation. He hasn't chosen yet. He chose now. Wonder what the pick rate is for these. This has got to be like super lopsided for Radial. Actually only 70-30. That's kind of surprising. I thought it would be more. All right. The passives are pretty damn good, so.
He'll have his refresher ready for the next fight, BZM. And on if he wants to hold on for that buyback gold. As it absolutely is getting to the point in this game where if one team takes a rough team fight, highly likely the buybacks will have to be forced out. Mid lane, in fact all lanes, all tier 2s are gone. So one fight, you'll have the winning team straight up towards the tier 3s.
I can't believe Amar's inventory. I feel like I'm watching a different player. I'm watching Seb playing Dragon Knight. Look at this. There's no damage. Amar, what are you doing? Where's your armlet AC on Dragon Knight?
He's even got the wards, you know, yeah.
And he got the Trickster Cloak. Yeah. He's got a defensive neutral item
Changed
even.
Man.
Brown boots. Yeah, he's reformed. Grew up mid-series. Seb is so proud.
So far, it's been working pretty well. Those Blink Dragon Tail stuns have set up a fair few times. He's been able to get the jump on Brow the last few. See what they can get now. OG ready to pick the pace back up. They're out with the smoke. We'll see how prepared TSM FTX are for this. It's been a few minutes since the last bit of action, so a little bit more relaxed. Dubu's going to be jumping Tomato. He's actually going to get straight in on top of Uragi. Uragi puts the BKB, but the disarm was already there, so a few seconds of BKB where he can't really do too much at all. He's going to hide himself with the Mel. Tomato trying to run, but the kisses come in. That's Tomato down the ones. On the back lines, Moon. Wukul's command is down. OG having to back out away from the Monkey King ult. Saberlight will continue to chase. OG, Uragi's got to be careful now with his BKB already used. It's not as easy for him to frontline as a TA. Nobody to die, just the reincarnation here taken away from Tomato.
Yep, they did force out the Dark Ascension again, though.
Let's see if they can get back in.
It's daytime in 5 seconds. OG would love to fight. I think TSM should perhaps take a little bit of a chiller here for 80 seconds.
Going to try and force it.
Get the hell out of there.
They're well aware of the time of day that it's become. They've got the jump on Saberlight opening up. Tomato gets in to cover him. Turns with the stun on towards the Dragon. Another bit of buyback straight away from Tubu. Tomato trying to stay in on top of Amar, but Amar's able to kite him out to the side. Tomato, he'll turn over towards BZM instead. So if they can bring down the Monkey King. Mumianda trying to run, but BZM commits. Gets the kill. Double kill for him. They're completely on top of Uragi here. TSM FTX trying to kill this TA. Uragi still alive. 3-man cooking there for Tiger. Jumps back in with a split up from Brow. Catching the two and then Brow will fall. Moon, he brought back to re-enter the fight. Tubu with the life strain, trying to damage Amar, but he's still too tanky as the DK. Amar will be able to step away. Steps out for 70. He's got no buyback available. OG continuing to keep the fight going as Uragi. He's backing onto Tomato. Tomato getting low. Reincarnation's on cooldown. He's not going to have a second life. He goes down. Cooking again from Tiger. Over towards Brow. BZM, he's getting low. Has to keep his distance away from the ledge. They'll be able to climb out. Nullify onto Brow. Takes him out of the use. Brow's out for 2 minutes. Mumianda, pretty much the last one standing in this fight for TSM FTX. He'll try and live, but he cannot. Uragi, double kill for him. 4 dead on TSM FTX. They put multiple buybacks in an effort to win that lose it horrifically. TSM FTX knocked out. OG, they're ready to go down the mid. And with no buybacks, this is going to be serious damage to the base. Maybe even the game's hit.
Yeah, if they realize there's no buybacks here, the game is actually probably over. What's a single Night Stalker going to do here? He can try to cut the wave at the risk of losing his life. He will do so now.
If he can get a couple of creeps, he will have buyback Saberlight. He's 48 gold short of the buyback. See if he's going to live long enough to get any money. Turning for one CS would do it. Okay, maybe another. 30 gold short of the buyback.
There's a courier.
I'll do it, okay. Oh, no, that still won't do it. He's still short of the gold.
It's more gold.
They're looking to end the game here down the mid. We see as well Tomado. He's only 180 gold short of the buyback, but he is short of it. There's no chance of defending. OG, they'll go to the edge and they'll take the game.
Damn, what a crazy last fight that was. Funnily enough, one of the deciding factors for OG in winning this game was TA choosing the 25 talent with the refraction charges, so he did opt for that one. That's why it took them forever to kill Uragi. I thought it wasn't going to be that important, but actually it bought him like 3 or 4 additional seconds in that team fight. He buys back, comes back, and he's just impossible for them to deal with. OG very wise in their selection of that fight. They go in, the moment Night Stalker ulti is unavailable and it's daytime, they force this fight.
Yep.
And it was super close. If that's nighttime, they don't win that fight.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's that same area pretty much 2 times where OG took those fights around that perfect moment of switching back to daytime. TSM FTX not prepared for OG to make that sort of quick move when it changes from night to day, and that second time round, that will secure them the win. Couple of TSM FTX members a little short on the goal to get the buyback, so they had no chance of a defense. As that game 3 will go to OG as they now lead the best of 5, 2-1 against TSM FTX.
You have an alarming number of puppets.
I sell them online.
Let's make this puppet biz legit. You are good. LegalZoom. Now you're in business.
New Truly Margarita Style Hard Seltzer.
This is the start of a journey, one that will look different for each of us. Every discovery will influence the way our bodies adapt and rebuild, in a process we can supplement and control. Thorne, redefining healthy aging.
The fight is done. We lost.
Jedi cannot help what they are. Their compassion leaves a trail. The key to hunting Jedi is patience.
What's up, Jake from State Farm?
Sup, Ash?
It is OG that is at match point here at the Stockholm Major. They are now 2-1 up against TSM, FTX, and also slight PSA for all of you because it's after game number 3 of a best of 5. The teams do get an extra long break before the next game, so this is your cue. Like, if you need to go to the toilet, if you need to get food, do it now because there is a little bit of a longer break than you're used to between a series. But let's see if we can break down that game 3 because it was quite a crazy one. We were hoping for a more even game. We definitely got it. OG still in the end, of course, crushing it and taking the victory. Jenkins, you were very excited about Amar's build on the Dragon Knight.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff to cover in that game, but Amar, his build, it looked insane. I mean, Octarine Core, Ether Lens, Blink, Force Staff. At a point, he had wards in his quick buy, and I was sitting there thinking, like, okay, this guy puts a Moon Shard in his quick buy. Surely he's messing around. No, he bought wards, and he was placing them. And I had the thought that I think we've been misunderstanding Amar as a player. I think the casters and panelists and analysts have been wrong about him. He's not a greedy offlaner. He just really understands farm. In this game, he realized that he has this mid-invoker, Quas Exort, and then a TA carry. Where are you going to farm? And if you go late game, you're going to win. So he just goes for this insane support build. Also, it makes a lot of sense because his stun set up for 3 other heroes. There was the Mirana arrow that could come out. There was the Invoker, the Invoker spells. What was the other one? There was another one. The Snapfire ult, like so many, yeah, I forgot what it was called. So many things to set up for. So like literally all he needed to do was press stun on somebody, and then they win the early game. And then he's also setting up for his 2 insanely late game cores to farm.
Yeah, and the TA worked out quite well too. It really helped limit what the Night Stalker could do in fights, right? Night Stalker runs in a lot of these other games, and it feels like you just can't touch him. He presses BKB, he silences, everyone has to run away. TA literally doesn't care. She just turns and starts hitting him for enough damage where he can't fully engage, and it didn't allow Saberlight to play his normal game.
I mean, this was the type of game where TSM, they were actually rolling over some of these earlier fights with the Night Stalker, but then they got to kind of that tipping point with all the Force stuffs. Sure, you have on the DK the Blink, the A for the Force, him being able to also help out from a bit of a distance. They were able to keep that TA alive in some of these clutch fights, and you saw it there as well. Just OG, they're always in position as 5, and then they itemize to help each other out. So even when they are weaker under the threat of a BKB timing, they're just ready to kind of counterplay that with just pure numbers.
Yeah, normally when a game is fairly even, the tipping point happens around the Roshan. We have a replay of that as well if you want to relive that one, because it did come down to these clutch fights, Jenkins, to see who came out on top, and OG is just the team fight Dota team. Then
yeah,
does anybody do it better?
I feel like BZM in this game in particular, he was absolutely clutch with a lot of his like deafening blasts and his ice walls. Like these were preventing Yuragi from going down a lot of times, where like, you know, Yuragi looked really good in this game, but it was set up by the fact that his whole team was enabling him with Force Staffs and Invoker spells.
Yeah, and even like Amar on his DK, every time he's always playing on the fringe. Sure, in that previous highlight he does go down, but the way in which he stuns, disengages, unlike other DK players where they're often stunning and committing,
they just,
trying to get
they just run in and
yeah, exactly. He's always kiting back, keeping it alive, and you see here that was the double 4 stuff that you had on top of Yuragi there, helping with the DK +1, and just the small little things they do here just to keep the fight going.
That fight in particular was insane because the way that OG engaged that was they jumped in right before the Night Stalker ult was about to end. So they had to time that, and if you do it right as the Night Stalker ult ends, what happens? The Night Stalker, the TSM's not stupid. They're gonna run away, right? Like if ult is timing out, you're gonna run away because you know it's not nighttime. So OG, they jump early, and whoever timed that, whoever called that, that was sick. That was insane. That was the game-winning fight.
And look at this, the double cookies, triple cookies, and this was a rare fight where both teams actually had perfect vision. You had low ground vision from TSM, high ground from OG. Everyone saw everything. It was purely down to the mechanical skill, from both the teams.
Yeah.
It was just so hard for them to kill TA in that moment as well. Like the Leshrac was relatively tanky, but it just takes so many items to survive against the enemy squad. You need some kind of potential immunity or Yules. You need a plate mail, you need the BKB, you need regen. And against TA, it's just so much harder because once he gets nullifier too, he just hits you no matter what state you're in, and he's pretty happy.
Yeah, we say a lot of the good things that OG did during this game and during all these fights, but what went wrong for TSM in particular that they could not like hold on to the lead they got in the laning stage?
The lead that TSM couldn't get? I'm not sure. Do you guys have any ideas?
It feels like the Night Stalker timings when they're finding those fights, it just fell flat at that one point. And I guess the Roshan fight as well, right?
I don't even know if it's timings. I just feel like they got really outplayed in a lot of team fights. the triple force staff and the Invoker spells. I think that you consider banning Invoker late phase. You don't want to first phase ban this. I think still the Enigma and these other heroes that we've seen are still very important. But late phase BZM Invoker, maybe not here. Maybe get that out.
Maybe play against it a little bit more so that you know what's coming a bit better.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see it getting banned out indeed, the Invoker from BZM. Very strong. Very curious to see what Slax is up to right about now in the crowd somewhere.
Hello, my friends. Welcome. Now, I was talking to this young man named Victor. Victor, how you doing? What'd you think of that last match?
I mean, it was amazing. I almost lost my voice. It was an even match, a lot of good fights. It was amazing to watch here with all you guys.
Woo! Now, Victor says that his dream was to be on OG, you know, win this tournament, go up there and be a champion. What is your MMR?
1K and a half, something like this, you know?
1K and a half. So that dream will never actually happen, but it can happen here today. Victor, I want you to pretend like you just won this event. I want you to go up there and claim your prize. Seb's behind you, everyone's behind you. Crowd, help me out. This is your moment. Don't touch the trophy, please.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
I'll try.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our boy Victor and walk up there. Yes! Oh, Victor! Congratulations, you did it! You did it! Yes! Woo! Don't touch it! That's fantastic.
Yeah!
How did it feel?
I mean, it's amazing to be here in the center of the stage of this magnificent arena.
Well, we might see something just like this very soon. We'll find out right after this game, but thank you, everyone. Back to you, Shiver.
Thank you very much. And yeah, I mean, OG definitely one game away from taking that trophy, and they will be allowed to touch it, by the way. Only privilege for the champions here. And we talked a lot about pressure and about playing on the stage, because obviously for both teams, this event is the first with the crowd. Some players, of course, excluded. So far, though, Jenkins, I don't think that either team cares.
It doesn't seem like it.
It doesn't seem like it.
It seems like they have nerves of steel. Well, maybe not nerves of steel. You could argue that both teams also have people that are going to be bringing them down if the energy's too high, or bringing them up if the energy's too low. I think, yeah, you could name off a few names there. You've got the 50-50 Saberlight. You got Moon Meander. You got Seb. Taiga, of course. He's the old dog, or he was supposed to be on OG, but then Seb standing in. So yeah.
I think they're both just doing a good job bashing heads together, playing their drafts the best they can. That game was much closer. They had strengths and weaknesses, and we got to see a much longer game. They just really, really wanted to win the Roche fight. They did not, and it kind of ended the game a little bit quicker, but leading up to that point, it was very close, and I think both teams are showing that they're ready to play through the nerves.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen nerves right now, but in this extended break that we have going into Game 4, I think that's where it might show, where, the winning team, they might get a bit too excited, but you should be able to calm them down with Seb Notel. On the flip side, TSM, they won Game 1, and then, they lose 2 back-to-back. So being able to recover, that extended break might help them a little bit. So I think Game 4, that'll be the true test on how
you think OG is going to get too excited, potentially? Because I feel like this team lives for the excitement.
Yeah.
Like I think they feel the crowd. They really capture the OG spirit.
I want them to get more excited, if anything. My phrasing was probably wrong. I think they need to get even more excited.
Oh, you want them to power up?
Yeah, exactly. Like when they hear OG, when Tiger's doing a black hole or something, he's hands off keyboard. He's clapping sometimes. I need that type of energy from this team.
TSM, though, they got Moon Meander. This guy's waking up every morning listening to Attack on Titan in the shower to wake up. So if he feels like the odds are stacked against him, it powers them up too.
Yeah, it would definitely power them up indeed. And there is that extended break. I think that it's very important there for coaches to have a say as well. And I want to focus on TSM because it's really rough. If we're coming to the conclusion that they probably just got outplayed in those fights, how do you fix that?
I mean, the real question is, are they going to stick with the same opener? That's really what led them to that point. They opened Pugna. Later on, they're like, okay, Lesh is going to work really well with this. And it was pretty good, but TA ended up being a pretty big negative against them in those later game fights. So are they still going to be so confident in their opening that they take it a third time in a row?
I mean, when I was walking around back instantly, Misery was next to Mumianda. You know, they're talking, coming off the stage together. And I think that is kind of probably what you're leaning towards there. The fact
what they say.
I didn't
Spill
really
the beans. Spill the beans, Tigo.
I really like the panel right now. I think we should actually stop playing, just listen. No, I didn't really hear what they said. I just saw them close together, you know, go. But no, but realistically, the first bit Pugna, sorry, I think that's probably the thing that they might veer away from. Is something OG hasn't been rushing towards. And also, they've just lost 2 games in a row with it. Even though it's been impactful, the draft feels like it's been harder to get something that you want to get out of your draft. Even though in game, it's exceptional. Just the drafting part where OG is excelling.
I don't even know if it's a drafting thing. I feel like OG just got a lot better at punishing Dubu in these last 2 games. Like, they're just jumping him on the backlines. And it didn't look like it did in the first game where Dubu won with it.
That's true. It kind of makes more reason why the TA was so effective. It was decent against the Night Stalker for when you needed to hit him when he's BKB'd. It was pretty decent against Leshrac, and it also made Dubu have to react every single time.
He just gets one shot. Yeah, he just
and then in the ultimate late game, there's always going to be a nullifier that counters so many things, so many aspects of your draft. So maybe it was the TA that was the problem. But last game we said the same thing. It was like that one hero comes out. Oh, good. They just got that one good pick and they win with it. Happens the next game with a different hero. So
yeah, bro,
it's scary.
I feel like it is the Invoker. Like, the TA looked really good, but there was a lot of clutch Invoker saving the TA and then blinks out like at the last possible second. That doesn't happen if you don't have an Invoker. What other hero can like disarm and slow and provide that much utility from the mid lane? It's
Techies.
He can disarm. That's right.
Slow.
True. Yep. The one
from the mid lane.
Yeah, the ability that nobody skills.
Game 4 winning. Ooh, immortalized on the trophy.
No, I don't think we're gonna see it, guys. Speaking of what we heard backstage, I did hear words from a coach.
Oh, okay.
I walked past No-Till. No-Till was having a conversation with security. And the security was like, what's going on? Because obviously they have to sit in the back and they don't see what's happening. And he was explaining that they needed to win 3 games in order to win. But I think, because No-Till normally not on the coaching side of things, he had to lean with his hands on his knees. You know, I think he is pretty stressed, less excited to see his team perform here. But it is always nice to see people getting excited for what's happening here, even if they don't know, you know, the game and what's happening in terms of the esports side of thing. I believe Victor came back into the arena, or I'm not sure actually. But it is
Victor's
very cool.
The crowd favorite.
Victor's
they
crowd
love
favorite.
Victor.
Yeah. Earlier we did hear he walked up the stairs. Big applause coming in. All right, guys. So we know that the teams are backstage. They are getting refreshments. They make sure that they get enough food, not too much food, by the way, because then you are too full. It's a balance.
Yeah,
it's
you gotta stay away from the carbs.
Stay away from the
carbs.
carbs.
Like the proteins.
Yeah. It is actually a science to see what food you can eat and still perform at your max. But we're gonna give those players that time to recover and come back for the next game. We're gonna take a quick break, but when we're back, it is time for the 4th game of this best of 5 grand finals, where OG is on match point.
Love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
On May 27th.
Are you ready?
Damn right. Summer takes off.
Nice.
Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, that's the most I can give you. Fine.
and it's time for the ace up my sleeve. My beloved squishy pig with
original holographic cover art.
Hey, Ash, what you selling?
Save the references, Jake from State Farm. I'm saying goodbye. This little piggy went to the game store.
You don't have to sell your favorite games. State Farm has coverage options, so you get a rate that fits your budget.
Thanks, Jake. Hands off the squish.
For surprisingly great rates that fit any budget, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
If you vape, you could be inhaling toxic metals into your lungs. To show how scary that is, we made metal monsters. With special effects that show metal particles being inhaled. And music that would have made your heart race. But nothing is as scary as the facts. Vaping can deliver toxic metals like nickel and lead into your lungs. That's metal in your lungs.
Tail slate. Sign a brand exclusive. Where it wants to lose it for the next best thing. One quick slip and you're out of frame. No one really seems to care though. Got an ego, can't explain. No. Icy boy with diamonds on my frozen soul. Spending all my money on expensive clothes. What's it take to get me on the radio? Slow down for me, goddamn, slow down for me. Icy boy, I'm an icy boy. Icy boy, the frozen soul. Suicide doors are looking gorgeous though. Icy boy, the frozen soul. Suicide doors are looking. Icy boy, the frozen soul. Suicide doors are looking gorgeous though. Icy boy, the frozen soul. Suicide doors are looking gorgeous though. Yeah, icy boy, the frozen soul. Suicide doors are looking gorgeous though. Icy boy, the frozen soul. So down for me,
We know where it's at, crank the volume, bring a friend. Cancel all your plans because this party won't end. We know where it's at, crank the volume, bring a friend. Cancel all your plans because this party won't end. We know where it's at, crank the volume, bring a friend. Cancel all your plans because this party won't end. We know.
You have an alarming number of puppets.
I sell them online.
Let's make this puppet biz legit. You are good. LegalZoom. Now you're in business.
What's up, Jake from State Farm?
Sup, Ash?
For me, creativity starts with what ifs. Like, what if it takes place in a white void? Or maybe beige? No, black. What if it's in suburbia? That's not right. What if it happens in the rain? Yeah, this is it. Now, create what's true to you.
I was gaming with my boys, the big dogs. We were going crazy, and then boom. I look down and it's my stomach. I'm looking everywhere, and then I find some old nuggets. And as I'm playing, I stopped because my stomach started swirling. So I started thinking, bingo, DoorDash. I ordered some antacids and I ordered my favorite meal. It came here so quick. I took my medicine, downed my meal, and became champions, baby. DoorDash is the real MVP. Let's go!
TSM were supposed to be the team to perhaps break the curse, but so far it's looking like OG slightly the stronger team here. They're 2-1 in the grand finals here. We're going to go to a fourth game that might just be the deciding game if OG can bring it home. I'm here with Jenkins, Tigov, and Purge. This fourth game, we're gonna need to see you step up from TSM.
Yeah, we are going to need to see them step up for sure. I think they've got it in them for sure. I think it just depends on adjusting the opening, throw away the Pugna, maybe pick a second in the first phase, get a little bit of a reaction, make sure it looks like a better Pugna game. Maybe that you get to see a Mars offlane hero, so you know that your lane isn't going to go terrible, but they've got to change something.
Yeah, swap up the draft. I mean, just changing anything at this point. Just change the formula. Like, it looks like OG had that one figured out, and just play normal Dota, and hopefully we get to see a game 5.
But that change-up that we're asking for, it's somewhat easily done because, you know, it's always been the same pick and side in every single game so far. It's always been TSM on first pick and Radiant. But potentially coming to this fourth game, if TSM have that priority, they can just change up by choosing maybe second pick this time, and it'll completely change the entire draft of the grand finals because, you know, now it's completely flipped.
But do you really want to do that on a potential deciding game? Because that's new. Then you kind of got to refigure things out.
And that's the fun of the break. That half an hour, that's exactly what they've been talking about. They're finding out all the variations, and then they might settle on one that makes them comfortable.
That's true. It does give them more time for draft ideas, to really mix it up, to really think it out multiple stages, because they had time to go through that. So we might really see a little bit of a draft reset here.
Yeah, draft reset, a reset of strategies in general. When we've been talking about OG in the past, it was always about the pace that they were able to set. For example, yesterday morning, they were able to match the pace of Thunder Awaken, who up until then was kind of the team to set the highest pace. I feel like there's a little bit of a different story when it comes to the series that we have in front of us, because both teams seem to be kind of similar in terms of pace.
Yeah, I think the main thing for OG is they're showing flexibility in their style, where they're not always relying on farming up the lanes, getting 3 cores and going. In the series so far, at least Amar has shown us a different side to him. He's being a little bit more sacrificial, being a bit more involved in the fight, allowing Uragi some time to farm up. And I think that development across the series, which is something that you haven't done in the entire major, that's something that can take your opponent off guard.
Yeah, you're never going to prep for Amar to build a Force Staff on offlane DK.
And an Aether then second item.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. First item.
Oh, yeah, it was Aether, Blink.
Rush Ether, yeah, it was insane.
Even got Shard before he got Blink, I think, too. That was pretty crazy.
Maniac.
Yep.
Well, our questions are answered in regards to potential changes in draft priority and stuff, because everything is the same. We have the Enigma ban there also to round it out. Means that TSM so far, previous couple games, they went for the Pugna in this pace and this place. But this is the time where they might need to change something.
Is TSM even talking about the draft right now?
I mean, they look like they're chilling.
Just chilling.
They're chilling.
What are we going to pick? It's the Pugna. They're literally teasing us.
Oh man, they're memeing.
Yeah,
they're
memeing.
They're memeing.
Wait. Oh, okay,
there's Snapfire.
Alright, so
That's
they
of
do
course
change
the
it.
steel pick as well. OG's been first picking Snapfire in the previous 2 games.
I believe Braille has played this mid, correct?
I know he did play it mid because in NA it was like the thing to play mid for like 2 months. So every NA mid player knows how to play Snap mid.
I think the really strong thing about a Snap opener right now is that you can both cover, first of all, it's flexible, of course, but you can also, it's still good in like both lanes, right? You can still pick a really strong kill dual lane, but you can also still have a comfortable mid that rotates and puts pressure on. And like there's few other heroes that can pivot that well and still be super effective.
I think if OG here, it could be like a Pango +1 situation. Because if it is going to be like a Snap core, you kind of want the Pango core as well, so you can always chase him down in the early points of the game.
I mean, you could just Pugna Storm here, you know? I feel like that's, you know, it's a debate.
Storm.
I mean,
is the Pugna coming?
Surely. But it seemed like OG thought that the Snap was a counter to the Pugna to a degree, and so they're unsure. Do we pick it? We know we want the Storm.
If they pick Pugna, they just pick a really strong dual offlane. They crush whatever carries they are assuming. And if it's a slower carry, then maybe they accomplish their job anyways. All right, maybe they're not going to kill him as well, but then they can outcarry that carry.
Why not like Monkey King here? Their second pick, they can flex the Monkey throughout the draft. Then you have double jump for this Snapfire, so when you do throw out that Monomer Kisses, you're able to catch him on the back lane.
I must say, I mean, TMS better have a plan for this BZM Storm Spirit, because we did have him lose some games during the group stages, but that was a different OG squad, I feel. This time, how are they gonna beat this Storm? Like BZM Storm, come on. All right, we have completely swapped it, sort of. Anyway, TSM decides to take a page out of OG's book.
But the last time TSM took a page out of OG's book, they did just beat OG, right? The Enigma Pango opening, they put them out of the game quite quickly, so yeah, this was their half an hour prep. They just looked at game 3 and was like, oh, we don't have to prep. It's already done here, so let's take that.
Here's the question. Does the TSM get an Ether lens on their DK?
Oh, God, yes.
Surely that was a lot of like Night Stalker with the AoE.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see Saberlight picking up the
I mean, it was cool against the
Ether
Monkey
lens.
King too, because he would like long range cut down trees and stun.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was pretty cool.
It made sense for a lot of reasons in that game.
But I do like the DK response. Good lockdown against Wind Ranger and Storm is really powerful. Lots of magic damage between these two heroes. That's excellent against Wind Ranger, so they have that part covered at least a little bit. And then they can transition to some nice gank squad stuff too.
I mean, we got to see the combo literally in game 3. It was very impactful, and it does punish these initiators who want to jump in. If you're waiting under vision, and let's say Storm jumps in, instant counterplay, and then you get to move from there. You always put a hero pretty much to half HP with the DK combo plus any other hero, and that's where OG, they need to be careful that when they do engage, they're timing it with BKBs or at least vision advantage.
Yeah, this is definitely a Storm BKB rush sort of game. Not that that's not been the build. That just seems like the prevalent build on Storm in general, but that's when you really want to start fighting if you're OG.
Turn to ban.
Both teams developing some opponent-specific bans here.
Turn to ban.
Usually it's mostly Amar, but seeing Death Prophet banned, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, still the Monkey King removed by TSM. One more ban for OG.
They're kind of keeping the flexibility of DK alive. With Monkey potentially in that safe lane, DK in the off lane, of course. You don't really want to have that melee matchup.
Was it No Tail or Seb that tweeted that Moon Meander's Mirana was like the best they've seen?
That was No Tail.
Yeah.
That was No Tail.
Yep.
And then it was Saberlight who tweeted at OG that he'd beat them, and then Seb that tweeted at Saberlight that.
There's a lot of tweeting action going on between these guys, yeah.
For sure, for sure.
But the Mirana looks like a pretty good pick for TSM.
Ooh. I like the idea with the Mirana. It would work out nicely. It might change their lanes. Maybe you want to wait to pick it until you see... I guess you have to pick both your heroes now.
Why is Mirana a good pick here? Why does it fit?
Just lanes well with DK, obviously. That's lots of stun setup, especially if they get like a initiator mid as well.
I don't think it'll be a 5 Mirana in this case with these guys.
Now this is the game where they might get that Slaughter for OG. You have a Grimstroke already, you now have a Storm jumping, double Inkswell targets to get on the back lanes. They want to look for fights with these heroes.
That's a good point. Yeah, in most other games, Slaughter hasn't looked that effective because it feels a little finicky. But yeah, with Inkswell, it makes it feel a lot better.
Again, it depends on TSM pick, but just to keep it in mind if you're TSM.
Yeah, they're really thinking about this. A lot of the reserve time in the last draft was used on the bans. This one, more so, it's the picks.
It's very difficult to flex heroes when you're first pick, because this position here, you have to pick 2 heroes. You've already locked in, you know, to snap the DK. You kind of want to keep them open, but you have to reveal something. That's why teams often enter this phase of, you know, support plus another core, and then you get to kind of hide the core for just one more pick.
So if you want to make sure that you keep that flex potential alive, you have to kind of pick your 5 in these 2. So, for example, Bane is still in the pool. If you guys are talking about Mirana, Bane instantly comes to mind as well, having a good setup. And we know Dubu is superb when it comes to positioning, which is incredibly important on Bane.
Yeah, you're right. They could snap mid and then do some Bane Mirana. Like both of these heroes are very flexible, so they have a lot of choices to run through in their heads and, you know, decide what the best option is.
I still feel when you see this much skirmishing, okay, they go Lash.
Ooh.
Same as game 3.
So why these 2? You got a little extra tower pressure coming out. That's nice. We know Tomato confirmed great on the Wraith King.
These heroes just get tanky really quick. So against heroes that want to jump you and find you, Lesh can go Hood into yours, Hood into BKB, yours BKB, naturally able to keep alive. And now you're going to have a tri-core of Lesh, Wraith King, DK that are like 20 minutes in the game. You can brush off a Storm jump or an Inkswell combo if you're able to mirror the farm of your opponent.
Yeah. Also, in terms of the early game, if Leshrac goes to DK's lane, it's a guaranteed kill. It's set up. If Leshrac goes to Wraith King's lane, guaranteed setup, guaranteed kill. Snapfire, same thing. Like, they have 2 heroes that do a lot of damage, and then 2 with setup, and then 2 heroes that do setup in both of the side lanes.
And it's another vulnerability against Grimstroke as well. I definitely agree with that tankiness factor that helps you survive with them going in, but if you can go against them as well, Grimstroke cannot defend himself well. Wraith King's gonna be able to dive really far into the back line and get those pickoffs. And more stuns can't hurt, frankly. Should be easier to defend Leshrac because of that. Last game was a little bit harder against the TA at times, but with Wraith King and DK running in, I just feel like it's going to be a lot easier for Lesh to play this game.
Well, it's definitely making OG think long and hard about picking up this one.
Finally,
it will be the Mars.
Finally.
Yep.
The Amars.
Amars.
Other than Timber, this looks to be his best hero. I think like the Razor gets first phase banned just because it's looked really good as of late. But Mars is just, I mean, it's something else.
I mean, they needed a way to kind of keep the fight in a certain area, and this early siege from Leshrac plus DK, now they have a play where Mars can just position in the lane, and then Storm +1 can rotate in when needed, rather than having to all come at the same time. Mars is kind of just the counter-aggression in the early game.
I do feel like it does quite well in lane against Wraith King too. You can just kill all the skeletons, low cooldown cleave.
That is some filthy odds for OG on the Twitch.
Wow.
I mean, that's what it's like in the arena too. Let's be real.
Yep.
That's true, actually.
And OG is a game up, and we did establish that the game we just watched, the previous one, it was OG outplaying TSM, FTX, especially in those team fights. I guess if you want to avoid that, you just pick easily executable lineups. Do you feel like they have that so far?
TSM's is definitely very much like that. I mean, OG's is not that far away from that either. The Wind Ranger makes it easier for them to start fights. The heroes that they have with Inkswell is going to make it easy to get pickoffs on like one guy for sure. So yeah, both lineups I think are pretty easy to execute this game.
And finally, we get to see some of that Night Stalker respect ban coming in at the very end.
10 seconds remaining. OG's turn to ban.
And Medusa will be the final ban for TSM FTX. They are expecting a quite the hard carry coming out for Jiragi.
Banning out Scotty carries, basically they would really undermine Leshrak's ability to transition into late game because the Scotty is just such a hard counter. So maybe OG will do something similar. Who's left for good Scotty carriers?
Still be like the Morphling for OG.
5 seconds remaining.
We've seen that work out before.
Yeah, Morphling on LAN. I think that's a Morphling player's dream.
He's 2 games and 2 wins so far, and it's been in the clutch games as well.
Yeah. Yeah, being able to instant stat morph before, you know, like a DK stun comes in or Wraith King stun, that feels really good. Much easier to execute that on LAN.
Ooh, an IO last ban coming out, still respecting the flex potential for TSM, of course.
What's made Leshrak pretty powerful, and not to mention save stuff when OG's all about single target burst, at least jump, burst, kill one guy, relocate could be good.
10 seconds remaining.
This is the undying game.
You think so?
You throw down the tombstone, it kind of helps cover the Lesh and the DK.
You know, Storm has like top 5 win rate versus Undying. Wow.
Okay.
All right.
Huh.
Everyone was shocked at the silencer.
Well, it is not the first time that they've picked it. Better yet, the first time that they did pick it, it was also against OG in the first round of the upper bracket.
Yeah, Dubu played it. He actually won 1 point in his glaives, and he just glaved it up.
Did he have a Wraith Hand as well or something? I swear he had like a weird build. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit of a weird one, but could be okay here. If he gets jumped, obviously he's dead, but the whole goal is they start the fight, you global silence. Yeah, maybe they stun into Inkswell you, but there's nothing after that.
Ooh, Belastica coming out.
That's a lot of fight from OG. Like, again, it just feels like game 3 where they're going to play out their laning phase and they're going to look to take the fight. They're going to easily get the BKBs early. Silencer, unfortunately, as a hero is very hit and miss. If you are able to dictate every fight in the early game and your global has great effect, you can crush the game. But if you don't find that, your enemies get the mantas, the BKBs online, even the tier 4 items, it can be a struggle.
And rupturing Leshrak as well is really powerful because he's normally going to want to run around the fights, so that might really limit his ability to DPS for his team, and it's going to leave it on the back of basically just Wraith King, who might just be chain stunned.
All right. This potentially is our final game of the Grand Finals, but I would like to hear you guys' opinion about it. T?
Oh, yeah, I'm leaning a bit OG. I see heroes like Storm and Bloodseeker. I kind of lean that way.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
I'm also leaning OG. And I have a flower.
A little bit of a biased panelist coming out. But hey, we've seen this before. The jinx is complete, I feel, but we're going to find out how this plays out. It's time for the 4th game of this Grand Finals. Let's head over to OD Pixel and Cinderin.
Thank you very much, Steve. Yes, game 4, ladies and gentlemen, just about to get ready to get started between OG and TSM FTX. Sind, we're seeing them do it again. There's a silencer coming out. Not a lot of the other teams really looking or even considering this hero. They've decided that this game they'll change things up for Dubu, put him on something a bit different. Do you think this is something that OG is going to struggle with, these global silencers, when you consider what they want to try and do?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty cool pick in this game, and I think they have the tools that you want to have when you're playing with a silencer. I find this hero is at its strongest when you have reliable engage. You have the Dragon Knight stun, you have a lot of follow-up. So every time OG gets jumped, you have to play around global, and every time OG want to initiate with their Storm Spirit in particular, this seems to be TSM's potential solution here to bring this to a 5th game. But you know, it's hard to go against OG in terms of predictions because I feel like they've just overcome so much adversity in so many of their games. Like whether it's from a strategic nature, the fact that they would drop to the lower bracket after being knocked down by TSM earlier in the tournament. They just seem to find solutions, even when the games are in not perhaps the most ideal spot. At the same time, how many games have OG actually in this lower bracket until the Grand Finals been down severely in any game is the question, right? I think the laning stages for the most part have been all right. And now's the time to continue that streak so you can close it out.
Oh, here we go already. Some good vibes here between the two teams as they get ready to get things started. Let's see if TSM FTX can indeed push this to a Game 5, or if OG can take the championship title here on this Game 4. Of course, TSM FTX, they have shown us already one time this series how they can deal with the Seb Wim Ranger.
This is what happens when you give the players an extended break after game number 3. They prepare all of the alt chat pre-game. So now they've had time to think about who they want to shout out, what they want to request for game 5. It's funny to see. It's almost like, you know, the vibe has kind of reset. Like they went and had a little snack, had a break, in the back with a clear mind. And let's see which team that favors more. Maybe this is a much needed break for TSM after losing 2 back-to-back games. A little bit of a reset could definitely be helpful for them.
Interesting setup here from OG. They were going to try and look for first blood down bottom. They had Tiger sticking around for an opportunity, but they won't be able to catch any TSM FTX. So, of course, he'll head to the top, look to back up Uragi. And that final pick for OG. And how does sort of the prospects look for a carry Bloodseeker in this sort of match? Will there be a lot of opportunities for him to run freely around the fight and cause chaos?
I think it's the least obvious pick that OG went for me. I guess the logic here is that they're trying to, you know, they have some decent synergies with Arena into Bloodright. They have Shackle Shot into Bloodright, and obviously Storm Spirit pull into Bloodright, so the Bloodright synergies are there. But a lot of the times when I look at Bloodseeker, I look at playing it with a lineup that has a lot of reliable spread damage, so that you ramp up that thirst and you can start running over fights. And you don't have any of the really traditional Bloodseeker pairings in that sense. So maybe they still feel like the fights are going to be tooth and nail, and they're going to do enough for him to snowball it out. I will say he's not necessarily playing against the best core matchups, right? Both Dragon Knight and Wraith King are heroes that can kind of stand their ground when they get ruptured and aren't dependent on moving a lot. But against the Leshrac, I think the rupture could definitely come in handy.
We're going to see them try and make a bit of a move here with the Inkswell. Bloodbright won't quite clip the two of them. Saberlight Moon able to step out to the side. And looking at things down on the bottom, of course, as I said, you know, Silencer not a hero that we're seeing that much at all. How much can Dubu do down here in the lane to keep Tomatoes farming safe?
Not that much. I think both laners are going to farm. Amar and Tomato should both have a pretty good time here. It's similar. The Windranger Mars lane can kill with level 3, I think, potentially, especially on Dubu if they find a Shackle Shot, in which they can then combine into a Spear. But yeah, TSM's lane's offensive potential is very limited. And they didn't pick Silencer for the laning at all. Like, I think they identified that they could handle it, and that's always going to be the trade-off with Silencer. He's not one of the strongest laners. Oh, there's the exact play we talked about. Nice counter, though, from Tomato.
Yeah, immediate stun there onto Amar to make sure that he can't follow up with any sort of spear potential. So good save from him. Top lane again. Trying to get aggressive onto the TK, but at this point, Saberlight, it's not too much vulnerability to the burst. Bottom lane, Seb. Dubu's very, very low here. I'm sort of baiting Seb to hunt around the tree line for him. He'll turn with the curse. Seb is going to take quite a bit of damage from this one. Will live, and in fact, he's baited them in to maybe set up for something themselves. They turn with the shackle into the spear. The charges will be there for Tomatoes. He'll try and run away from this one, but Amar and Seb, they'll take him down. First blood for Amar. Top lane as well. TSM to be careful here. Moon getting very low. Immediately, Uragi tried to strike whilst he was boosted up by that passive.
Exactly. They're putting so much pressure in the bottom lane that it's helping their safe lane quite a bit. So Amar and Seb very useful for Uragi's game, even though they're on direct opposite sides of the map. And you see this weakness of Silencer in a situation like that, right? Like, you've used your spells, the enemy team outlives them, and they start trading, and you don't have much left in the tank. You don't have a low cooldown spell that you can throw out again. Really get it done. Okay,
Saberlight is trying to take down Tiger. But not enough damage on his own, and now Uragi might have the chance to chase him out. Saberlight getting low, cooking from Moon, holds back the Bloodseeker. Right, another Bloodbright. Saberlight. Oh, he's going to get caught by it. Uragi takes him down on the top. 2-0 already. OG starting to pick up the kills in these lanes.
How was that enough damage? I really didn't think that was going to kill him. That must have been on the edge for how much health he had. It's 120 damage level 1.
Yeah, sure. I wonder if we get on the replay the HP that he had, because it must have been...
That's really close, I promise.
Not always, indeed, you see that level 1 Bloodbright getting the kill. You see it again here on the replay, how close it was.
So he's up to 90. He's
he must
quite a
pick
lot.
up very close. Oh, it's so close.
Oh! Literally on
I mean, yeah, it's 120 pure damage, ladies and gentlemen. It was literally the same amount of damage as HP that he had. Oh my goodness, no wonder it looked as close as it did.
My lord.
Oh, poor old
I didn't think it was that close.
No, it really was. Right, back down bottom, Seb. See if we can get away from this one. The Skeletons, they're going for it, but Wimran's going to be back up in a second. Oh, he's away. Just in time as well. That second Skeleton about to get a hit in.
Moon Meander. PZM's on his tail. Can't continue, though, or he would die to Bryle. Oh, never mind.
He's going to go for it. I mean, he has Tiger to help out. They take down Moon.
Nicely done. So he baits Bryle to chase him to the right first, and then he can go and finalize this kill without putting himself at risk of getting followed up on by Lesh. So wisely done there by BZM.
3 kills already here for OG. Here to get a bit of a lead in the lanes. Huge amounts of farm already on Amar and BZM. Top CS for them. See Seb come back in the mid. Build BZM back up. See if they can set up for the power rune. See whose hands it falls into. 6 minutes in. It's going to be BZM. He gets a haste. Definitely has the potential to get something done with that.
And this feels so good for Amar, right? He's gone triple Bracer, and he's laning against Wraith King as Mars. He's level 6. Tomato.
He's straight in for the kill. And Amar, he's able to walk in and take it.
So far ahead in this bottom lane from that early start. He was a full level up on Tomato and immediately converts that into an arena kill. Even getting, he wanted more. He started spearing Dubu there, but
look at these quick moves. Top lane, we're going to have a TP over from BZM as OG baited some action. They set up with the X-Force stun over towards Saberlight. Zip forward. Saberlight, he cannot escape this. There's going to be too much magical burst coming after the storm as BZM catches him by surprise with the TP top.
In the meantime, Seb is going to get some space. So effectively what OG have done here is that they traded a little bit of Wind Ranger experience away bottom to get Amar level 6 faster. Seb is low level right now, only level 3 sitting in that mid lane, but look at what it gave them. Gave them a solo kill bot. Amar needs no help any longer. And now Seb can sit and take mid while Storm rotates top. So just textbook stuff, moving the heroes around in this early laning stage and getting huge value. Very comfortably at the top of the net worth, 2 of their cores, and Bloodseeker almost 3rd. Might actually get 3rd if he manages to farm up this stack together with Taiga. Even level 1 Stroke of Fate actually does so much damage to a triple stack.
Yeah, they should be able to clear this.
Yeah, you'll get it.
Less Moon, they can try and steal some of this from OG.
Okay, got a bit of it there, Saberlight. Got a couple of the medium value creeps. Actually, they steal away a decent chunk now.
Yeah, they get the majority of this.
That went better than I thought it would for them.
So good steal here from the 2. Maybe with the cookie setup, they could try for a kill. Immediate Phantom's Embrace does come out to try and slow down the silence. That will give the chance for Tiger to get the ink swell off himself. So Saberlight can't commit for the kill. Moon's going to opt for the TP out. He's away in time. Heads up play there.
In the meantime, bottom lane Amar. Again, Tomato will retreat to the jungle, and that's going to be 2/3 of a tower claimed by a solo Mars. Like, this isn't any involvement from a gank or a pushing hero, anything like that. No siege creep either. He's just slowly over time whittling away at it. Tomato cannot solve this lane on his own at all against a Mars with triple brace and soul ring.
So tanky here early on.
This itemization is incredible value for the time being, and Amar knows exactly how to get the impact with it that he wants.
Absolutely, makes it very unappealing for TSM FTX to make some sort of half-hearted move down here to deal with him. They'll have to bring the numbers if they want to try and threaten Amar in this early game.
Yeah, I think theoretically speaking, even Leshrac rotating down here isn't a guaranteed kill. If there's any TP rotation from a Storm, that could end badly. Because they have to burst through 1,600 health on that Mars, and Wraith King is not going to do much of it, that's for sure. So, yeah, only Leshrac can really do that. And they just don't want to use the resources there. They're going to look for their own move top instead and likely just concede bottom tower.
Is under attack.
As it stands though, Tiger, the only one showing on the wave. Ideally, TSM FTX, they want to find Yuragi. May just have to settle for Tiger though. Saberlight reveals himself with the stun opener. Take out the support, and with Braille around, they'll get some damage done to the tower. Uragi will have to step out to the side. High chance the TSM will get the objective out of this movement.
Yeah, Brawl's got 4 points in Edict, so in 10 seconds this tower is going to be taken out, unless OG actually planning this. This is a high risk but high reward move from them.
They're bringing in Amar as well. He's deeping over. They're ready to try and get the action started. Saberlight's been ruptured. Arena's down. Spear controls. Saberlight, he's going to be going out for sure. Off to the side as well. Seb catching Moon with the shackle. As they take the kills and keep the tower alive.
Most teams drop that tower, and I love that OG defended it. Such a good play call there.
They're going to get the zip over as well. BCM, he's back over towards the mid. He's going to get the setup on the Brawl. Brawl in trouble. Caught out by the X-Well stun. He'll get taken out. The curse is there on BZM.
He is fine. Yeah, he's fine.
Quick moves from OG, from defending the top tier 1 to making the move on Brawl in the mid. 8-1 and a 2k lead. OG off to a fiery start.
Again, BZM finds himself the Fairy's Trinket in this game, so he has Fairy Trinket as well as 3 nulls, so a lot of mana cost reduction here in his build. Just converts to so much damage, and it puts even more pressure onto Dubu as well as the Dragon Knight. I think these two heroes together are their key to unlocking a solution to the Storm, but with the disadvantage they're under already, it's going to be a little bit tricky for TSM to find the kind of fights that they want. They need time to build up Tomato. I think this is his hardest start that he's had. He's still top net worth in his team, but it's just going to take that extra bit longer this game. 11-minute armlet phase is not bad at all, but it's not what we've seen from him in general.
As you can see, just slightly slower than the average that we've been getting. Just to show how much of a rougher time he did have with the way that Amar was able to just take over that bottom lane. Getting that early kill, that solo kill on Tomato as well, being the huge reason for the slowdown. See what TSM FTX's plan is going to be next. Maybe looking to fight once Braille has the Yules done. It's going to be important, and trying to do their best to use that global silence from Dubu to give them the opportunities to catch some of these heroes before the BKBs are done, because of course OG, their cause, they are going to be rushing the BKBs straight away. Both Amar and BZM making their way towards them. At this pace, they're going to hit good timing on the item pickup.
Yeah, this TSM's lineup doesn't have damage against BKBs. They just don't, right? Like, Wraith King needs more items in order to get there. He's working on a Desolator for now on Tomato. Leshrac, you've got a little bit of pure damage from Edict. That's pretty much it, right? So during BKBs, I think TSM just are unable to kill enemy cores, and OG know this and are just itemizing for that timing. Global Silence to save Saberlight.
Is it gonna last long enough? Ooh. It is indeed just long enough there to make sure he's out before a spear comes out from Amar. Saberlight will live thanks to Dubu. What's that long cooldown though? Couple of minutes, no global. Highly likely that OG may be able to set up and look for another attempt at a kill whilst it's on cooldown. At least TSM FTX have to be careful how they go over to their half the map. Moon tries for a TP out, but Amar ready and waiting with a spear. See in the mid as well. They're going to make quick moves over towards Tomato. He's shown himself in the mid. They'll take him out the once. See if they can set up to do it a second time. Silence does kick in on towards the Storm. Shackle will buy a little bit of time for them to close in. Zip forward. BZM closes the gap. The arena's down. They'll trap Tomato. Tomato will fall.
It is huge for OG to know that Global Silence is on cooldown. Like, even though they do save the Dragon Knight top, it just opens up for this mid move. They can play with so much initiative. There's effectively, you almost want to say there's a dead support, right? Because with Silencer without Global at this point in time, level 6, he doesn't offer very much against OG's heroes when they get the initiation. He can contribute when his own team is going first and then prevent some sort of a counter combo with Last Word and get a little bit of damage in the slow out with the Curse, but against these jump-in burst moves from Storm and Grim or Mars Grim with a power shot on top, Silencer doesn't offer very much right now. It is one of the weaknesses of the hero you really need to find value out of Global, all right?
They know the importance of trying to make moves whilst the BKBs aren't done yet. They find Jiragi. Good smoke up from TSM FTX. See if OG can punish this. BZM's going to turn up, get himself up to the high ground to see the positioning. TSM FTX back off and look to try and push it on the mid here with the remainder of that Elder Dragon form. So a quick kill on the carry and a good opportunity to try and look for another tower themselves.
Yeah, Saberlight with his dagger needs to lead the charge here. He will lead the charge onto an illusion though, and that makes for an easy opening.
Yeah, they're gonna get the jump immediately over towards Moon. Moon cookies up towards the high ground, turns with a blast. Spear will finish the job. BZM even thinking about going for more, but the curse does catch him. Low on the mana, he'll pull back. As the Yule's done now, Brile, so a bit better chance with the setup. Some sort of way to save himself by time if he ever gets jumped upon by BZM.
Yeah, not only save himself, but also the possibility to kill, right? If the Storm jumps him and he uses him, it's a guaranteed setup for Split Earth, unless if he gets immediately countered by a Shackle Shot or a Mars stun, but Amar has not gone for Dagger. He's completed a BKB 15 minutes in instead. This Mars is more or less invincible, I want to say, at this point, unless he gets chain stunned until his death. Seems like a tall order, so he can play very aggressively. I wouldn't be surprised to see OG look for a smoke toward that mid-tier 1 tower soon if they find any pick bottom that would allow them to get that extra bit of map control going their way.
See if they can go for Saberlight. Quick blink. As soon as he sees Amar. Definitely the struggle for TSM FTX in these team fights will be that, you know, if they just started off getting one kill inside the arena, they've got so much chase. When you consider, you know, BZM, Yuragi, Seb running down heroes. As soon as a team fight starts to go downhill for TSM FTX, it's highly likely that they're going to lose hero after hero from the chase down of OG.
Yeah, you can't fall behind against this lineup in a fight. It's just not going to end well. That's definitely a synergy that Storm and Bloodseeker do have, for sure. I'm sure BZM would have loved that rune, but unfortunately he was all the way back in base with no mana, so Regent's is going to be grabbed by Yuragi.
The smoke here from OG, they're ready to look for some action. Saberlight is going to try and stand his ground. It turns with the Elder Dragon form and a stun. Amar finding the angle to get the spear over towards the tree. Brawl turns with a split up, but he's not able to catch Amar. Saberlight goes down, and Amar has got the arena. He's going to try and see if he can maybe get in range to set up for more. With Arena and BKB, he's still very much fight ready. Under the trees, under the tier 1 tower, they'll stay hidden in the fog. Amar won't quite be able to find them. TSM FTX indeed having to just play so careful here, really respecting the fact that Amar, he'll absolutely just charge in, drop an arena, and trap any of these heroes that present themselves.
I think they're just going to continue to push this mid-tier 1 now, all right? Ryle will evade the spear, so maybe OG, they're thinking twice about it. They don't have to commit either. They do have the Storm and Bloodseeker both farming jungle while they're keeping TSM on their toes around that mid-tier 1, so nothing much gonna come from this from OG except just, you know, more map efficiency. They're just getting more gold in the meantime, because TSM don't know how many heroes they need to defend with. Effectively, OG just bullying them here with 3, with Amara standing in front. This is almost impenetrable wall. They're going to try to force his BKB here.
Let's see what they can do. They get the stun to open things up. Into the Ray 5 blast as well. Amar getting low, but now the ink swells out. The arena's down. He pops the BKB to remove the silence. Spear back onto Brile. They take out the Lesh. Tomato also trapped in the arena. He's trying to run, but Yuragi's going to sweep him from the side, get on top of the Wraith King, take him down the one. Saberlight's been ruptured. He's got to hold back. Tomato is going to try with the second light to fight, but BZM's in with the BKB. The Vortex pull back. Tomato taken out a second time. Double kill for Tiger. Moon, he has to come to an end with the kisses. He's got to try to escape with the pig pole, but he cannot run from this lineup. OG, they take out the 3 of them.
And they're going to take the mid tower now as well. There's just no way TSM defend this. What an amazing play there from Amar. Not only does he, you know, he baits them to go on him, but he holds the BKB until he gets global. He arenas them, doesn't BKB. The moment global comes out, BKBs gets a 2-man spear. You're going to see the replay of it here. Just perfect. And I think TSM maybe a little bit naive here. I think you need more heroes if you want to get this kill. You're not going to kill this with just 2 cores. There's that global into immediate BKB soloing the Lash more or less effectively.
Yeah, good bit of heal and protection coming out as well from Tiger as he has the shard done. And yeah, Saberlight that whole fight unable to get involved as he was held back on the side. With these BKB timings, just not a lot that they can do outside of Tomato trying to get the hits in. And Tomato himself, of course, at this stage, no BKB done for himself, getting completely controlled by OG.
Is that the John Travolta meme? Almost. Huh? Yeah, well, looks like there's a little bit of confusion in the TSM camp. I'm not sure what caught them off guard there, but OG are just outclassing them in this game.
All 2 boo. Looking very very dead here. They get a quick jump onto him. Another kill added to the score here for OG, 16-2. As they sweep the map in order to make sure that TSM FTX don't feel safe anywhere that they step out. They've got to be so careful, especially with Amar leading the charge. Blink BKB, he is ready to catch anybody that he sees.
Oh, top lane Saberlight, BZM. He has Arcane Rune.
He's not getting out of this one. This is just going to be another one, surely. The Gale Force as well, blowing Saberlight back over towards Seb. Moon Meander. He'll get out of the Blood Right, but he won't get away from these two. Vortex pull back, another kill for OG. TSM FTX just seemingly unable to slow them down at all.
They don't have the solutions when they get jumped. They need to be so selective with when to use Global Silence, and it's not them taking the initiative. I think for TSM now, you have to wait for Tomato's dagger, and then it's go time. I think the longer you wait, the more you're gonna start, you're just gonna continue bleeding. You're losing map control, you're losing the power runes. BZM now getting a DD as well. It's getting worse by the minute. You're running out of time, basically. The moves have to start happening. I don't know, like maybe you can wait for Brawl's BKB, but how many heroes is that gonna cost you? It just feels almost impossible not to get jumped by this OG lineup in the meantime. And even if you do farm that item and mitigate your losses, you're still losing on just raw economy from waves being farmed. And so much of this comes down to Amar's Mars being able to just box out heroes, right? Like wherever he goes, how many resources are you gonna bring? He's effectively playing Mars like Timbersaw this game. You know, goes to a lane, like, come at me, guys. They're gonna have to use so much. Let me look at this. The comparison between the two offlaners is quite the world of difference.
He's having a perfect game here, Amar. 5-0-6. Insane amounts of CS as well, way over the 10 per minute. This is a very, very scary Mars, and they have so much damage to follow up on it as well. We see as well this game, BZM picking up the early shard. So there's an extra bit of burst from the overloads that he's going to be able to provide his teammates. It means that anybody caught will die in an instance. You know, still at a stage of a game where there's no BKBs up for TSM FTX at all. You get jumped, you will die.
Yeah, pretty much. The Global Silence has... I'm not going to say it's run its course, because it can still have a major impact, but I think TSM were planning on more than 2 kills in 22 minutes with this lineup, so... Yeah, maybe it's time to panic a little. Better keep it cool. Look for the options that you do have, which are, once again, very item reliant. So, Dagger on Tomato is complete. Leshrac BKB, 700 gold away for Bryle. I think TSM at that point are going to go for what, from our perspective, almost looks like a Hail Mary. I wonder if Moon feel the same way. Moon is toast.
It tries to get out in the trees, but Amar knows exactly where he's trying to play out of there with. As he goes down, and now over towards the Roche. OG, no. There's very little that TSM FTX can do to stop them from getting this Aegis into the hands of almost certainly BZM. That's TSM just trying to take something in return. They're working on towards the push down bottom, but TPs are coming in. OG, ooh, not quite able to catch him. Saberlight's able to blink out in time, but BZM, he does look to attempt to chase. TSM FTX will get their way out of there. A bit of damage done to the tier 1, but not even able to finish that off with the space they were trying to play with.
They put the Aegis on the Bloodseeker for Storm. Yeah. I guess BZM just feels so safe in this game that he doesn't need it. A lot of the time you want to put this on Storm because the second life with the full mana bar is just insane value. But it can be nice on Bloodseeker for sure. Oh,
he's been found at the top. Let's see if there's any way of getting out of this one. There is, and Bryle goes down. Finally getting his BKB now that he's back in the base. Over in the mid, Amar, they just make it play so quickly here. He's going to look for the spear setup. Tomato does have backup of Moon. Any way they can save Tomato. Seb's coming in from the side as well. Gale Force making sure that Tomato, he cannot run back towards the safety of the rest of his teammates. They'll try and run off to the side, but BZM's going to be there ready and waiting for him. They take him down the one. Samar in position to set up for a second time. Tomato, he's dead for sure.
Just an absolute masterclass by OG in this game of what you can do with an advantage when you have the right heroes in the right place, you know? You're playing against a lineup that theoretically does have quite a lot of play potential, right? Dragon Tail, you have Wraithfire Blast, you have Leshrac and Snapfire with the long-range artillery, high damage, and Global Silence roll-up, but it's OG just completely oppressing them out of their side of the map. Aggressive warding, just quick moves and taking all of the initiative. And it feels bad for Dubu. It's very, very hard to play silencer like this. If your team is this far behind and you're not making moves, you're like, your finger is on global silence all the time, but you're like, is this the right moment? Should I save it? Is there gonna be, am I gonna regret this if I cast it immediately when one of my cores gets jumped? And he has been holding it for quite a while, but we're still missing that move from TSM where they're showing that they're, you know, gonna try to find a way back into the game. I think if you keep, again, if you just keep farming even further, now you've got your BKB on Lesh and you're still not trying to take initiative with this. How many more items are you looking for? Are you waiting on the BKB on Dragon Knight as well? Are you waiting on the one on Wraith King? And then once again, how much is it gonna cost? Like, how much are you bleeding out? You're gonna lose bottom tier 2 at this rate if you don't defend that one. In just a matter of time, you would imagine, before Moon Meander gets his 8th death on this Snapfire against Storm. Just constantly on his tail. Dubu's gonna cast spells bottom.
It's a bit risky.
Knowing his position.
Well, they may look for the chance to dive him immediately as soon as he shows himself with the spells, he's out of there. He knows not to stick around. As OG take this tier 2 tower, TSM FTX continuing to just not be interested in trying to make a move until they have the triple BKBs.
Tomato is about 1,500 away from his, or rather closer to 2K. And Dragon Knight needing the recipe, so a little less than 1,500. So quite some time here, a couple of minutes.
It's a dangerous spot to be up top. Tomato is going to get caught by the controller, Zeb. Jump forward from Amar. Is there any way to protect this Wraith King? It will have reincarnation. It just came back online.
Yes, 5 seconds on the TP. They can't even global TP out here.
Arena's out. There's no chance for Tomato's escape. As OG take him out. Put that BKB on hold for a little bit longer.
I mean, I guess as far as the gold goes, it's kind of flatlined for a bit now for TSM, so it's, I guess in a way they're doing a little bit better than I was expecting, given the circumstances, but I'm sure I'm speaking for everyone when we want to see TSM get the next kill, you know? First of all, get a kill. Secondly, the dream scoreline that could bring them back in the game.
I think we did get that scoreline once before in one of the series, and it did actually turn it around. I want to say, I think it was in the Fnatic OG one.
Well, it's not happening here.
It's not happening here. BZM making sure that the dream doesn't occur as he takes out Moon Meander. 23-2. He's pretty much got that Lincoln Sphere done. I mean, between that and the BKB.
I mean, this is backwards.
That's true.
That's pretty close. I'll take that.
Saberlight. And still, of course, yet to get that BKB picked up. It looks like he's gonna... Oh, no, okay, BZM's ready to go back in. Not quite able to get the correct read on his position. He's still got some mana to play with, and Seb, he's coming in from the side. They've got the shackles, Saberlight. There's no escape from it. Inside the base, Tomato just gets taken out. Amar and Yuragi diving the high ground, killing Tomato. They just can't even catch a break. They can't even get the opportunity to get these BKBs done.
And every time they get a new item, the same's happening on OG's side. Now we've got a Lincoln Spear up on BZM, getting his level 20 talent after this wave. Just keeps the ball rolling. Yuragi also working on a Lincolns of his own against that Dragon Knight. Now Brawl's gonna go in, but they have two dead heroes.
I mean, it's a good stun. All right, kisses. That's going to be a dead Yuragi. That's a huge kill for TSM FTX to get. The thing is, the rest of OG, they're ready to fight and take kills in return. Amar, he's taken out Bryle. Their turnover towards Dubu. In fact, Amar, he's going in towards the tier 4, jumps in with the arena, catches Moon. As they may have lost their carry, but Yuragi knows he's not even needed. The rest of his team able to take a very, very favorable trade once again for the squad.
I mean, it looked like a potential opportune moment because the Aegis expired and they get that jump on the Bloodseeker who doesn't have BKB. So I can see where they're coming from. You're also a little bit desperate at this point, right? Like nothing has been going your way for 15 minutes. It just feels like perhaps electing a 3v5 there was not the way to go. They did get the kill they wanted, but it cost them everything.
On Tomato.
Oh no. Oh,
they're making their way straight towards him. He's out with the blink. The Gale Force will start to blow him back. If there's any way they can get any jump, it doesn't look like it. Tomato dancing around. Feeling confident that they won't be able to get the jump on him now. He'll be fine. But still the eternal struggle here for TSM FTX to get these BKBs done on their cores. Very, very hard for Tomato and Saberlight to just get out to get that final bit of gold. Saberlight should have it off this creep wave. At least, yeah, very, very close to.
Were you on the phone with No-Tell?
Radiant are scanning.
see if OG are going to be able to find another hit onto TSM FTX before the BKBs are out. Satanic turn on Amar and well on the way towards the Lincoln Sphere. This is building to be invincible, almost really, to the damage output the TSM FTX have. And one chance there that they showed the ability to get a kill with Jiragi. Getting caught as close as he was. Unlikely to happen again. 17k lead for OG, 28-3. BZM styling on them in the mid, clearing out the wave.
There's a BKB for Dragon Knight, so they get one more. Tomatoes is still not complete, minute 30. Having an absolute terrible time in this game. 0-7-0 on the Wraith King.
That's rough.
I think this might be the hardest game he's played all tournament. Well, I'm sure it is. Question is by what order of magnitude? Just been completely shut out. Just nothing going their way. And you know, there's only so much you can do. Like I've talked about, you need to kind of select the key moment where you're like, okay, this is when we go for it. This is our all-in play. I feel like the chance of this all-in play succeeding just goes down minute by minute because, yeah, sure, you're getting your BKBs. Second Lincolns now. There's Lincolns on Storm and Bloodseeker. You're fighting into Wraith-packed Windranger now. And Amar has Satanic. So who are you going to go on?
So hard for them to get the jump. They can't rely on that Yule setup. They can't rely on that Wraith Fire Blast with Tomato when it comes to the cores with the Lincolns. Bottom lane, Saberlight. He's out of there, but Bryle, he's been found. Tries to TP out, but Seb finds him with the shackle. It's Bryle down for 70, of course. Was spending up, so no chance for a buyback. We'll see over towards the mid. Jiragi's going to look for Moon, and he's going to catch him. The stun connects, Moon taken out. (30-3). We've seen quite the difference in the score lines during this major, and some beatdowns, a lot of them done by the hands of OG. This one, when it comes to the kills, pretty much dwarfing them all. 30-3, a huge lead on the kills, and the goal close by as well. 20k advantage for OG.
This is generally not the kill distribution you're expecting when you say this game had 1 kill per minute. But you know, one team is accounting for, what's that, 91% of all kills. It's tough times for TSM. You know, you're trying to look for a bright point for them, but they need to present it. It's just OG with all of the initiative, making all the moves. BZM going for a huge dive. If he would have caught anyone there, that's one for the highlight reel, but no target. No one's connecting on that huge ball lightning. Straight down through the mid with a TP. If that connects on Silencer, it is a one-shot.
Well, here we go.
Okay, now it's time.
They've got the BKBs. What can they do? They're going to try and jump Jiragi, but he's immediately responds with the BKB. The Linkers of the BKB, they can't quite get through that and find a stun to connect. Jiragi's fine. Quick reaction, but TSM FTX not to be hard done by. They're going to go for it again. Another smoke. I know that Jiragi's BKB is on cooldown for a minute. This might be the window that they need to find some action. But OG, they're fully aware. They're going to start to group up and make sure that if Jiragi is the one to be found, the rest of the team's around him.
Look at Amar's positioning. He's just running into
Look how much HP he has. You don't want to jump this Mars.
This guy's not dying. He has Lincolns too.
They're going to try and get around Amar and look for the back lines.
All right, Amar's going to just run into
There's the jump. They'll get themselves on top of Tiger, immediately looking for the Grimstroke. They'll get him. Over to the side, though, Amar will drop the arena. Doesn't manage to catch anyone, though. Saberlight turns towards 7. Jiragi off the back lines. BZM will zip straight forward to do with the God's Review. Takes out the Silencer Spear as well, connecting onto Moon. 2 down. Jiragi, he's looking to clean up as well. Saberlight falls. Tomato goes down the one. See a buyback come out from Moon. Tomato's going to opt for the BKB. TP out, tries to toggle his way to safety, but he cannot survive. He goes down. Chased over towards Prowls. Moon with the scatter blast, trying to push back OG, but the shackle connects. Triple kill for Jiragi. GG is called. OG, they'll take game 4 with that. The series is there. The championship title as well. 3-1 against TSM FTX. And we really did see this last game very much a testament to how well OG's played here at the major. They make the lower bracket run, and to do it with the newer squad, the newer names, and with a change in roster at the beginning of the major. Seb standing in. I mean, these guys, they're incredible. Some of their individual play and the way they're able to pick themselves back up after one of the roughest starts we've seen a team have in a grand finals. That game 1, getting beaten down by TSM FTX, but after that, a game 2 stomp. Game 3 coming in with the outplay, and then this game 4.
arguably the biggest stomp we've seen here on the main stage, Sin.
This team, this org just can't lose finals. It's just impossible for them. Every time OG shows up to, it's just magic, you know? They've had finals harder than this one. They had a most insane comeback. I believe it was back in the Kiev Major years ago. On the ropes, 2-2 the scoreline back then. This time around, it looks like a tough start for them in the first game, but after that, just they clean up their act. And I mean, it's fair to say this wasn't even close after game one. It just wasn't.
It really wasn't. OG just on another level in comparison to all the other teams here at the Major. And again, just another sort of showing of it's these newer names that you've got to watch out for. Very much making a huge name for themselves now on the squad. You know, Amar, Yaragi, BZM, Tiger, and again, Seb. You know, he's done it at the TI. One of the older ones, of course, but Seb coming in, taking that position to stand here with the new lads. And my goodness, something about this squad, as you said, Seb. And of course, No-Tail stepping in to coach them through, well, for most of them will be their first LAN event in front of the live crowd. No doubt about it, the audience here giving them that extra bit of power to come out with these incredible showings.
And still, on the other side, TSM, second place, amazing finish for them as well. You know, they've had a really long run in this tournament. They looked like the team to beat at one point. Tundra were the other ones, and TSM took them down, and then obviously OG were the ones to deliver that killing blow, so they only got third. But here they are.
Here
OG.
we are, ready to lift the trophy as OG. They'll step down, ready to claim that championship title, and my goodness, do they deserve it. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for OG, your ESL One Stockholm Major champion!
was a beatdown, Slacks. Let's be real. It was a beatdown in the right way. Oh, thank. Got the lucky hair confetti there. Very good. All right, we got to do some interviews with these boys. Let's check them out. While they're hot, while they're ready. All right, time to grab, time to grab. Here we go. Down the line, down the line.
Taiga, I got to ask you a question. I don't know where they are, but your parents are in the crowd, right?
Yes, they are here.
Can you find them?
They should be
behind the trophy, please. Face the crowd.
You want them to come
behind the trophy.
I just want to know, how does it feel winning this major? Your parents in the crowd. That must be incredibly special.
It is very special. Honestly, I feel like at home when they're here, because I just want to play as many games as possible for them to watch me play. That was my goal, and I did it.
And through the lower bracket, as many games as possible, right?
Yes, that was the goal.
I thought you guys were just here to do a podcast. What the hell happened? You came out here, you guys won. Congratulations. Any words for your boys, the new next generation of the best Dota 2 talent?
Believe in yourself, boys. You are the best in the world. It's incredible to watch. I'm just honored to be here.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yuragi, all these guys here are here to cheer for you and your squad. Tell me what's going through your head right now.
Nothing.
We heard from Nota when he did an interview earlier, like when you lift that trophy, he said pure bliss. Is that kind of what's happening?
I guess.
Speechless.
Sim, you stepped up, you took the bullet, you did the substitution yet again, and another huge win. Anything to say for your boys here? Anything to say for the folks at home?
I mean, I don't know, man. Life is so weird. I was just sitting at home, you know, doing normal things. I mean, playing some pubs too, and now I'm here. It doesn't feel real. What can I say? They are awesome. I got carried. It's just amazing. I'm proud of them. You know, I don't know, GG to all the teams that were here, all the players. Everybody deserves it in a way. Today it was us, and I'm happy. Big shout out to Misha and Shu. You know, I told them, I mean, I was in their position, Johan was in their position, and I feel like with the job that they've done, OG could not be in better hands. So, yeah, I'm really proud and thankful for them too.
Absolutely. Thank you.
BZM, are you ready for them to nerf null talismans?
No, what? No, please. Please don't. Please don't, no?
It will probably happen. I think you made it look a little bit too good. How did you feel getting your hands on the Storm Spirit multiple times this grand finals?
I mean, we were banning first to game Storm Spirit. No, first. So I was like, why do we ban when we can get it ourselves, you know? So... OP hero, guys, OP hero.
Thank you very much. All right, Amar, you've had a lot of words this major already. You have learned from this. You know, you're no longer toxic in your own words. Going forward, you still standing by that?
I mean, we will see. Who knows? Maybe I will come in a ranked game and I will be toxic. Who knows?
Right now, you won the major. You're a major champion. You got a little bit of extra oomph in bragging rights, for sure, though.
Yeah, nobody can talk to me now. What can I say?
What a fantastic performance from all these guys.
Gentlemen, if I could please come to you, get you all right up in front of the trophy if you could. I'd like one final bow for the crowd as we let you guys out. Please, one more time around the trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your major champion,
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been so good to have a major back with the crowd. You have all been fantastic. It has been amazing, and I really hope this is the beginning of more of this Dota, more of this crowd.
Absolutely, Sheever,
it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Why, hello, everyone. Welcome to the after show. Now, for fans of the previous two shows, you might be wondering, why am I here and not Cap? Well, that's because we decided we'd switch things up today. We'd have Cap behind the bar and me relaxing and schmoozing with all the guests. Welcome all OG fans. Welcome all NA Reject Copium lovers, as we're going to go ahead and head on over to the bar now and get a little bit of a special drink today that Cap made us. We can see the bar starting to fill up a little bit with some familiar faces. But what I'm most interested in is whatever Cap has decided to make for me today. As you can see, he's going to be the busy one. All right, Cap.
Where's my mic? Give me that. All right.
What do you got for me?
You can ask everybody. I've been doing a great job of bartending. And I actually had a chance because I was doing a much better job than you were.
Of course.
And all the customers are satisfied and have drinks in their hands that I made you a special drink.
Oh.
It's called a hoodwink squishy.
A hoodwink squishy.
You squish all the fruit in there.
Okay.
It's really good.
We'll go ahead and give it a try here. I'll let you know what I think.
It's good, right? Overwhelmingly. Powerful.
Powerful.
Yes.
Why don't we go ahead and maybe switch positions and get a little bit more comfortable?
Fine. You really don't like this?
You know, it's missing a little something that I.
But it's got like 5 oranges and like at least 4 limes. It's really fruity.
It is really fruity. There's just something I can't or maybe won't want to put my finger on in there.
Oh my God, it's like it has too many flavors.
Well,
what did I make? Oh my God.
It's gonna be long. I'll tell you what, when Jenkins comes over, we'll give it to him and maybe he can try and figure it out.
Okay.
He's got a more refined palate. Speaking of your palate, what would you like to drink for today?
I have no idea. You choose, sir.
Okay.
Because obviously, I don't want a squishy.
Okay. Yeah, the hoodwink squishy. It's on the secret do not order menu.
Yeah.
Definitely not the one to get here. But how about that Dota?
It was pretty good. I have to say I really, for a second there, TSM after game 1, I really believed in them.
I did.
Then I came to my senses and remembered that NA is doomed to get at least second. So we're never going to win a major.
Never stop believing. 4 majors in a row, top 2, Cap. Never forget. Never forget.
It's great. It's wonderful. All right, welcome to the after show. I'm not sure what Richie has told you about this show, but we're pretty much just throwing on a party, and every good party comes with free drinks. That's how I've lured everyone here today. And we're just gonna bounce around and say hi to everybody, see who's here, and just go ahead and take whatever route presents itself to us. So I'm gonna start off here in the corner, actually, because I see a couple people. In fact, I see our grand finals commentator here.
Hello.
Hi, Owen.
Hello, good evening, everybody.
Hi.
Good evening, Capitalist.
How was casting the finals?
It was good fun. It was
Yeah?
good fun. You know, sure, we didn't go the full 5 games.
Yeah.
We had a couple of stomps in there. But we got a pretty exciting game 3, I think. You know, some really nice, outplay to sort of get to see in the grand finals. And then, even though, at least the last game was a stomp, it was a big one. I mean, if we're gonna have a stomp in the grand finals, you want it to be big and dirty, and that was pretty.
That was pretty dirty.
That was a big lead that they got in that one. So what can you do? But
I mean,
it was
it's a little
fun.
disappointing as a commentator, right? When it doesn't go to game 5. Yeah.
Sure. You're always wanting you're always hoping for that.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, and
I mean, it's
still
a
great
big
fun.
opportunity for your career. I mean, it's like your 70th grand finals appearance, so I'm sure it was particularly disappointing to not go to game.
Yeah. As I said, game 4, which is good. I feel like some of the recent ones have been like 3-0s. So,
Yeah.
we're making progress. Next grand finals, we'll get the full 5 games.
Owen, are you ever going to let me have a grand finals?
We'll see about that. I'll consider. I mean,
you already subbed Fog down. You might as well
I
sub
know,
me
poor
in.
old
Come on,
Fogs.
surely you got some back injuries there or something.
I'm gonna watch my back now.
Yeah.
No, but no, it was good. It was good fun. Yeah, shame about Fog, but shout out to Cinder and stepped in last minute to cover for him, and I'm sure Fog's doing okay. He's just taking a bit of a rest, bit of a breather. He was having some pains, but I'm sure he's all good. I'll go and see him later tonight.
He was very much missed in the grand finals. I know folks watching right now, so we did miss you, and we particularly miss you here in the bar, which I know you are also missing. So
absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Owen.
Well, have a good night, Cap.
Thank you. You too. I've actually got a very nice group of people here. Can I jump in right in the middle here? Hell yeah. That is exactly what I want. Hello. I'm gonna give it to you first. You want to hold the microphone? Thank you, Jerix.
Thank you.
I'm training you on microphone etiquette.
What
you
am I
want to hold
doing?
it a little bit lower to the base, just in case. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. You're natural at everything. You know that?
I'm really not. At losing.
What? You won 2 TIs. You can't say you're natural at losing. Come on. How you been doing? Did you enjoy watching the event?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was. It's been way too long for seeing the crowd, so
yeah,
that was very exciting. Also, people seem to remember me very well, and that was just breaks my heart a little bit. You walk around and Swedish guys, like they recognize my face and all that. Like, I don't know. It just feels special.
Yeah.
It feels special to be here.
Yeah, it's nice. I think it's been a long time since obviously we had crowds in, and I know I was talking to people and they were really excited about the fact that they just got to see like you guys. I saw you were hanging out with Montu in the crowd. I think that was like something that meant a lot to the fans, that they were just like, yeah, it's so cool that like they're not like out there in the
Stop
distance.
that.
All right.
We're talking to you soon, don't worry.
It's cool being able to see all the players around and instead of just, like usually they're secluded off in some area you don't get to see. So
Yeah.
they really appreciated it.
I mean, in the end, I think, like, sure we are competitors and all that, but like, the most important is the community stays together, and that if it shows, at least from my perspective, like when I see that from other people doing, that means a lot, and then if I can do the same, then I feel like we're pulling the same boat towards something nice.
Not to like swerve topics on you too much, but have you played Mafia with us at all?
I think that was last time was maybe TI6, TI7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy it?
Not really.
Because this guy over here has become a fiend for Mafia, and he actually schooled me last night pretty hard. It really ruined me. I
What
really
did he do?
believed him as town. He was Mafia, and he had this moment where he had to present his argument, and he just seemed so sincere. I really believed him. I thought he was a nice guy, Celery, But he fooled me. It really disappointed me. Much ruder character than I thought. More devious than I ever imagined, Celery. That's you.
Yeah, maybe you just cannot read people. That might also be the case, huh?
Are you very competitive about this?
No, I'm just trying to have a good time. But it's more fun when you're trying hard, I feel. Like if you don't try in a game like Mafia, it's not really fun. It's fun when everyone tries really hard. Just all try to read each other. That's the fun part of the game.
I think we were in a game with, so it was me, you, and there was also Misery was in it as well as Crit. And I specifically noticed you left us in the game. Was that also a competitive element to you? Did you like fooling us?
I don't know. It's more interesting. I feel like you're all super tryhard, so it's like extra rewarding if you can stay under the radar.
Did you guys end up winning?
I've played a lot of Mafia. I don't remember the exact game.
All right. How's your event been?
It's been good. Even today, it's been pretty fun to watch. It's a nice experience. Like I've never been to any event, not even a spectator. It's the first time playing and watching.
Damn, that is really cool. How long have you been watching esports? So this was your very first event. How long have you been watching online?
I've been watching since TI2. It's been a while.
What was your first event? Some Heroes of New World, Sweden, DreamHack, Kenny Forth, I think that tournament.
Sorry. I'm the one needs the mic etiquette. Thank you, Celery. He's the one schooling me. Shit, it was
probably
like
2010, I think.
2010?
11, something, yeah.
And like, how long have you been like just watching games in general? I mean, DreamHack's like such a big thing, I feel like.
Since I was 16, so we're talking 14 years, I think.
Yeah. Okay, nice. God damn, it's just
almost the entire life.
Yeah.
After school.
That's beautiful. What did you do during your break, by the way? This is something we didn't really talk about. So you had some time away from Dota. Is it true that you actually didn't play any games after that TI9 finals?
Yeah, I didn't play Dota.
Yeah, you didn't play any Dota games. Right?
I think I just like refused to play Dota.
Yeah.
I think it like created distance. I feel like I got to really reflect on like everything that had been happening the past years, and like got a better perspective on how to move forward. And then I never really thought of like coming back, and that naturally happened during last TI when I got very excited about just watching the game.
Yeah.
I feel like I re-allowed myself to like look at the game as like it could be interesting. What could I do? And like then just like the idea spiraled, and I started talking to people. And
yeah,
I
so
feel
just
like
kind of like reignited your passion watching TI10.
Yeah, and I think the passion was there, but I was just like not letting it like really. I didn't give any attention to it.
Yeah.
And the other part for me was like I noticed that how much the people actually mean to me in the scene, like the community.
Yeah.
And talking to those, and I really missed those talks. Like I didn't actually realize how big part of that is for my passion. That the people are there and they're passionate as well. You're sharing the same, like, sharing the same love for the game. And
yeah. That's really cool. Well, I know from like just from talking to various people, I know that they're very happy, and I'm very happy to have you back. So I'm glad you're here. I'm super excited. I'm gonna leave you alone now. You can keep drinking and having fun. All right. I'm gonna sneak in with this man right here. The fuck are you doing here?
Oh, hey, Cap.
Hi.
What are you still working in Dota?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I still have a little bit of time here. What
Must
about
be
you?
nice.
All right. Hi, Matsu. Leave it at that. You want to hold the mic? Oh, hey.
Hello?
What have you guys been talking about?
I'm just watching the only real game, which is CSGO Major going on right now.
Yeah, you didn't have to see any of the Dota finals, did you? Were you just in here drinking, watching CSGO the whole time?
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there was an okay finals that went on.
I mean,
I'm not sure
I can imagine
you heard
that
about it,
watching Navi versus FaZe in Belgium is surely a little bit better.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
The CSGO game. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
All right, thank you, Batsu.
Are you taking the mic from me?
I mean... All right, I feel like this is a trap. I was specifically told, let me squeeze in here between you two giants. I'm sorry.
Yeah, fuck it. We'll take your job. How's it going, Sheev?
It's going pretty well, you know, chilling. I've got myself a Will-O-Wisp, apparently, I think. Yes.
All right, now over to Cap.
Cap, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I've been put in charge of this 20-minute improv show, and I have utilized my friendships. I bet this image is really nice. This is a good image. Yeah, thank you. I'm utilizing all my friendships for them to fill the time that I don't want to.
You give us free drinks.
Nice for us.
Thank you. It's my magic wand.
Yeah, you're very good with that. You've got some experience.
Shiva laughed at that. She knows what that was. I'm just saying.
Shiva, what were you laughing at?
He doesn't know.
He's got good mic.
I heard Jerix was telling me a joke.
Okay.
Okay. What's the joke? Wait, what?
Yeah, that's why I was laughing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll talk to you guys. And then you can have Sheaves, because I know you want to. How's it going? How are you? I haven't seen you in a while.
How are you?
Yeah. Sorry, I've still got my coat on. I'm not sure when I'm leaving.
Why do you have your coat on? I just promised you free drinks, and you were just like, I'm going to
Someone
have to
might
get the
come
drink
at
and
any
get
point
out.
and ask me to leave, so I'm still wearing my coat.
Yeah, you think
I'm ready to go.
You think Gabe might just come around the corner and be like,
Gabe's cool. I like Gabe. He's fun. Yeah,
that's good.
We text.
How is your Aren't you doing that whole studio? Didn't you guys just have a very successful game that just came out?
Oh, it was very successful.
Yes.
Yeah. So successful, you know the name.
V Rising. I actually do know the
Fucking
game.
idiot.
Because
That's not my game.
Because of oh shit.
Yeah, well done, Jake. I really love V Rising. Great game,
It's not my fucking game, Cap. Sit down.
No, that's the end of
your preparation. Fucking hell, and you get paid to do this.
I do get paid to do this, yeah.
Nightmare.
I mean, I have no in-ear, so nobody's telling me anything
Okay,
otherwise.
that's my mate's
excuse.
game. I used to work at Sonar Studios.
Oh,
it's an awesome game.
congratulations to
V
your mate.
Rising.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Sing Sing's been playing
Yes.
it. I've been
but
watching
your
that.
other game is doing very well.
Yeah, and of course you know the name
Yes, of course. We both know the name of.
Is it still Diabotical?
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
Diabotical is doing really well.
That's why she's the host, and you get to interview backstage.
Yeah,
I'm just
seriously.
saying that she did the research. But yeah, so how was your event? Is it right? You like the Dota?
Yeah, I mean,
Why am I interviewing you?
ESL paid me just to hang out with my friends and drink.
No, but
It's
the
really
thing is like, for you to have a good event, I think you should have stopped at the start of that sentence. ESL paid me. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's good enough for
fucking
me.
incredible. You made it.
Yeah, I mean, there were some hosting spots that opened up, so, you know, I just naturally took as many jobs as possible.
Well, I really liked it. This is my first event, and like, I sat down with Jerix and Matumba. We watched the game. Bit embarrassing. Fucking, Jerix was just fucking screaming at he was like, wrong, stupid item. Like, he was just, I was like, chill the fuck out, you know?
He seems like such a nice person when I was talking to him.
No, he's a real problem. And then...
Is he just put on like a facade for the camera?
And
It's like,
I
it's
made
all
the
fake?
mistake of sat in the middle of the room, and then, like, you know, halfway through, and Tumberman was trying to get my mobile phone out of my pocket, because he didn't have a great tournament.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. But that was fun. It was nice to make it to the end of a Dota event. So,
yeah, that's a
one
rarity
of my
for you.
favorite.
You're great at starting, but terrible
so
at
pretty
finishing.
successful event, yeah.
I believe,
I'm gonna hand off.
Yeah, I believe you are requested
Yeah,
to see more people.
this area.
They really want me to. All right, sounds like somebody may have. Thanks, James. On camera. All right, where am I okay, well, apparently I was told to leave that corner, but I don't know where I'm going, so apparently I'm heading up here.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going, buddy?
I see Gabe immediately. That's the first person I jump to. Sheep, where are you going? Come back here.
She has a sheep stick.
No, I don't
give me a
have.
microphone.
Listen, we could only afford 2 microphones, okay? So
This is the way to go.
Yeah, this is how it's going to be.
Me and my-
Sheep, of course, many of you should recognize from the Southeast Asian DPC
That's
and
true.
Eastern Europe when you
And
were doing that.
yeah, 1-to-1.
How was your tournament?
Oh, it was fantastic. I had a great time. I was in my Meepo onesie yesterday. That was good.
I saw that. Yeah.
He didn't get picked though, ever. Not once. Only banned.
Very shame.
Sad.
Darkseer got picked though.
I did. It lost. I feel like I'm in an interview here. This is great. I don't have to do any job.
Yeah.
I just get to do half of yours.
I've been giving out.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to
good as
lease
well.
out as much of my job to my friends as possible.
Oh,
so
Cap, I
that's
love
the
talking to you
entire
any day, all day.
Okay, well that's enough of that interview. I'm gonna move on now. Hello. I see stars here.
Stars, oh no.
Yes. Actually, no, wait. Hold on. I'm getting between you two. It's Danog at Kips.
You want me to hold it?
Yes. Hold it like a true professional like you are.
Absolutely.
Act like you belong. Yes, there we go. There we go. How have you guys been?
Very good, actually. This has been such a warm welcome to be back, frankly. I've enjoyed this more than any other event I've been to ever. It's been incredible.
What about you?
First time in Europe for 15 years, so...
Holy crap.
Yeah, really enjoying it.
What, like, you got kicked out or what?
I went to France on exchange when I was 16.
Okay, I just figured because you're Australian, it was just like a normal, like...
I mean, the British just can't keep me in the country, so it's pretty important. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's been great. I mean, getting to see everyone, free food, free drinks, always great as well. So I'm a bit of a mooch.
See, this is what I'm talking about. I offer them free drinks, and then they all show up. Thank you very much. I'm sneak on by. All right, I'm switching microphones, which is really good for production. I'm sure they love it when I just constantly switch microphones so much. I'm gonna squeeze on in here. This very angry-looking bald man here.
What do you mean I'm
Hi. He's not. How have you been? We briefly talked earlier. Oh, my camera guy's desperately searching for a shot here. I put Robin in a terrible position. Anyway, I didn't know you were going to be here. I mean,
I live like 40 minutes from here, so...
Okay. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry.
Who's coming?
Apparently, OG is coming.
OG?
I hear they're a big deal.
I won the tournament. I'm the champion. I'm kidding. Go get OG. Go get OG.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This is very rude. Apparently, I have to capture OG coming in. Oh my God! Out of the way. Is OG here? OG? Oh my God. All right. I know I don't want to ambush you guys. We're doing a show here, but I'm gonna ambush you guys. See, BZM is immediately trying to get out of the camp. Taiga. Your teammate just said tank it for me.
Oh, okay.
We're doing a show. I hate to ambush you, but that is kind of the point of the show, is that they wanted me to get you on.
Okay.
Fucking congratulations.
You want me to hold this?
No, I'll hold it for you.
Oh,
don't worry.
okay.
Congrats, buddy. How you feeling?
Thank you. I actually feel so empty right now. I think my brain is trying to process everything, and my heart is trying to process everything. I don't know what to say, honestly. Like, I don't know. This is weird.
I'm gonna give you a hug. I'm very happy for you. You have been a very sweet person. You've been very supportive. I saw your time on Liquid. I think this is amazing that you got to do this. I'm very happy for you. So, yeah, I'm just want to tell you that. You don't have to say anything else if you don't want to. Congrats. Enjoy the night.
Thank you.
I'm gonna see if anybody else. I don't suppose. Do you want to talk to me, BZM? Please, please. Yuragi, you want to join?
If I talk, he talks too.
Okay. All right, we've got a deal here. Both of them have to talk at the same time. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you guys just won major. Really goddamn exciting. What are you gonna do after this? I mean, there's got to be some like celebration that comes with it, right?
I'm gonna go to sleep. I mean, yeah, me too. We both go to sleep.
Okay, all right, that's fair enough. And tomorrow morning, play more Dota.
I'm gonna fly back home.
Okay. It's beautiful.
I'm gonna chill to the end of my life.
Yeah. Just
of course, I'm kidding.
Just ramped up for the next CPC. That's it. What about tonight?
Give me a break.
Drink? Yeah.
Give me a little break before the DPC.
Yeah, a little bit of break.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see what. I'll talk to Val. See if we can get you a break. All right. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Have fun the rest of the night. Thank you. Sorry?
You can,
we are gonna do
stand
doing
by
what?
the trophy and wrap it up.
Oh my God, we have a trophy here. Oh hey.
Hey, what's up?
It's you. I know you're good with a microphone.
you
want to take?
as
Yeah,
well.
I'm gonna give you the microphone.
Hello, everybody.
'cause I know you're good with a microphone. So, this is the trophy.
It's actually pretty heavy. You should try it. Go for it.
All right, you take the microphone.
Yeah, of course. Hello, I'm. So, how does it feel holding a major trophy?
I have actually never touched an esports trophy before. You know that? This is the very first one. This is heavy.
Yeah, it is.
Poor guys.
You're going to be the North American holding it today.
At this rate, I'll be the last North American to ever hold a Dota trophy.
They played amazing today. They played amazing.
TSM,
yeah,
amazing. I'm looking forward to see what their future is like.
We have you here as
Amar,
well.
oh my God, Amar, you want to actually? You want to hold the microphone? How you feeling, buddy?
Good. I forgot what you said.
Huh? What?
What did you say?
How are you feeling?
Good.